Good. Hold on. Good morning. Good morning. It's the Last Minute Laura show. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It is Friday. Oh my God, it's Friday. Friday, April 11th. Hello. Nice to see you all here this morning. Come on in. Come on in. The water is fine. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, darn Laura, looking adorable. Thank you. I put on freckles today because I was feeling like spring and I don't have my freckles out. Like, yeah, you can see them on my arms and stuff, but the ones on my face are like faded right now. So she drew them on. Also, I went to bed with damp hair and I woke up with this. Who is she? I put a crap ton of this leave-in spray for all hair types, paraben-free, the Moroccan beauty scent. It's Argan Magic. I paid $12.99 for it. And it is a multi-purpose leave-in treatment that helps detangle, condition, strengthen, control frizz, and add shine. I put a ton of this in there, and look, there's like obviously there's some frizz because I have broken bits, but like it is not very frizzy, and I slept on it. And I didn't do any styling. This is just what happened by putting a leave-in in my hair. Like, hold on. Let's see if we can find like an actual curl in there. Look at that. Look at that cutie. What are you doing in there? So cute, so curly. So I'm going to be doing that again because my hair is like not frizzy. All I did this morning was run a brush through it and it's just holding that sort of light wave curl. You can see my bleached hair does not want to do it, but the rest of my hair seems to be looking really healthy. It's not healthy, but the fact that it looks it tells me that leave-in is doing something for me. Ooh, hello. Also, a bow. I was just feeling like cute, okay? Feeling cute, might delete later. That's basically how I am right now. Feeling cute, might delete later. Good morning. Welcome. Can you see something changed in our background here? I have a piece of fabric over. Oh, how did you get up there? I wonder if you can see the top. Hold on. Let me see if I can move this. Oh, you can't see the top. Rohan's sitting on top of this. He's not supposed to be. I really like that top. Thank you. I just about knocked water over onto everything. Laura, you can't show off your stuff with a full glass of water anywhere. Thank you. I paid $2 for it at the thrift store. It's long, which is awesome for tucking into skirts. See how long it is? Like my skirts are usually to here, which means when it's like tight around my waist, it creates that nice like gathery look, which I like. Yeah, I like it a lot. $2 at the thrift store. Thank you. In case you're shopping, oh, it's probably an Amazon shirt. Amazon or Temu or something, because all it has is the size. Love that. Okay, so I really like that top. Can I borrow it? You're not even wearing it. Let me borrow that top. You have to be a 90s. What happened to Candy? Why are we saying, oh no, not nice? What's going on? I'm in so much pain today. Oh, I'm sorry. That's awful. I hate that for you. Melanie, good morning, pals. Don't forget to hit the like on your way in. Yes, pals, friends and family, foes and ops, hit the like button. Thank you. I just love the pleats with the keyhole and of course the color. Yeah, the color's amazing. It's like a heathered green. I love the pleats too. I love the keyhole. Yeah, it's a very nice top and the strappy shoulders are wide enough that there's no bra visible, which is like something that I don't understand about the design of t-shirts. They know bras come exactly here, so why are tank tops often like this? I'm like, why are you just design it to cover exactly my strap? Why am I having to? It's because this is for like older ladies. This style is not young, so it covers bras. I just think that bras should be either made to be part of the fashion or designed around. Pick one. You can't just be like, oh, we're ignoring the fact that there are bras. I'm not wearing a strapless bra. I do not have the body to support a strapless bra. Anyway, and no armpit vag. I need that style. Literally, yes. I don't want, this is private. This is a private area for me. This right here, this is not to be seen. I mean, I'm showing you because I'm not concerned. But like this right here, you see this? What, we don't want that. We want that to be covered. Unless it's part of your vibe and you're trying to show it off, in which case, girl, go off. I don't care. I'm just saying for me, this right here, private. This is private. This is more private than my belly button, I feel like. When I'm doing like an outfit and I'm trying to look cute. This right here, these guys. Are you an arm or are you part of my chest? Make up your effing mind. It's like also, okay, we don't need to be self-conscious today. We're beautiful, we're cute. Look how cute I look. I'm a gorgeous, gorgeous girl today. Feeling very cute. So let's just feel super confident. I'm wearing my compression socks, a pair of Alex's sweatpants, but I feel cute. So there's that. God. Anyway, good news. We've got good news for the stream. I know it looks so dark back here. It's not actually dark. It's just that this is so bright. Like, watch how bright it gets if I turn off these lights. It's like it's not dark in here. It's just these lights counteract the brightness of the room for the camera. So then it has to contrast, which makes this turn so dark. So bleh. But it's important to have these lights because these lights are keeping our babies alive. And guess what? So many of the babies have germinated. I said happy birthday to all of them this morning. A few of them I did say happy birthday to yesterday. We must wish our seedlings a happy birthday. We have to incentivize them to stay alive and stay with us because now we're on the clock. We need to be keeping these things alive. Okay, what's crazy is that we planted 30 something varieties of flowers on Monday together, and they're already, I think every variety has at least one popped up. So basically we are goddess. We created life from dirt and water. I feel pretty magical whenever a seed germinates. Even though that's literally what it's meant to do, I still feel as though I am directly involved in the reasons why it germinated. So I want to show them off to you now. So I'm just going to set up my camera. Why are you so hot, phone? It's because you are actively working right now. Anyway, yeah, I want to show off our beautiful, beautiful seedlings. Let's wipe off the lens of my camera. I just love that we all have the same stuff to worry about, so no sense in worrying. That's frustrating to me. We all have the same things that we worry about, but they're all pointless. Like, all of the body checking that we do on ourselves is so pointless. It doesn't make you healthier. It doesn't make you happier. It doesn't make you try harder to be healthier. It just makes you feel bad. So, like, rude. Okay, Rohan, I'm sorry, but I have to flip this makeshift curtain up so that I can show off the kids. Ah! I'll just pull the first shelf down so I can show them all to you. Oh, happy birthday, babies. So nice. My Clarkia mountain garland is coming up. I'm so proud of her. Do you have any kids coming up in here? We have nobody in the Macedonian scabiosa tray coming up, so we're gonna give her another day before we investigate the soil. Along with my envy zinnia. I'm so excited for you to have the envy zinnia. I'm a little jealous, but I'm also mostly just happy for you. My bachelor's buttons are going buck wild. Okay. I think that's good to start, and then we'll do the next aisle and next aisle. I don't want to kill any of my seedlings by not being careful. I'm so excited. I love baby plants. Me too. Yay, Candy. It's still too early where I am. They don't have them out yet. I bought my first set of 5 tomatoes. That's crazy. Yeah, they don't have them here yet. That's not available where we are. Is still too cold. Okay. Here is what's happening. I'm gonna zoom in a little after I like set the tripod up properly. What am I doing with my life here? Okay, let me just zoom in this a bit so that I can show them to you, and then let me zoom me out a bit. Why am I so close to you? There we go. but it's getting there. You have to have them before, you'll have them before me. Yes, I will have them before you because you live in the winter, but I will still have them after much of the warm places. Okay, so this is my Sunrise Serenade Morning Glory. I planted 3, and guess what? 100% germination. Look at those. Look at how happy they are. Good morning, guys. Happy birthday. So these beauties are going to split open and have a mirror image of leaves open. But they are up. They are here. They are ready to party. So these guys now have to stay uncovered because they will mold if we keep them covered too long. Next, I have my bachelor's buttons. I have the classic romantic mix and the blue mix, and not 100% germination yet, but I think we will. I don't feel like these ones are not going to come up. So far, we have almost 100% germination. Look at this. First of all, this is not even under the soil. Let me try and tuck you under. Give you a little bit more grip there, bud. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got beautiful. So see, there's 2 cells that haven't germinated yet, but I don't think that's... I'm going to investigate. Don't touch it, Laura. I'm doing it. You can't stop me. You're in the computer. You better germinate. You better not give me not 100% germination. The disappointment I would feel in you, little seeds. Okay, I don't even see a seed. That's not a good sign. Okay, how about you? I also don't see a seed in here. I'm not giving up on you yet. Oh, there's a seed. You still have a chance. Germinate. Gosh darn it. So, okay, we've got 2 that have no germination yet, but meh. And then the rest of them have happily germinated. Some of them have already dropped their little seed and are open. Some of them are still holding on to their little seed. These little seeds fall off when the leaf is ready, but sometimes you can tease them off. You shouldn't, because it's going to rip the leaf. Okay, I won't. Thank you. This one doesn't even have dirt on its root, which I will now ensure that it does. Are you the outer casing of the seed, or are you another seed? You're the outer casing. Okay. Now you wanna run wild. Okay, so bachelor's buttons are doing amazing. Very proud of them. They are so beautiful and strong. Next, we have the Xenia Cosmos and the Apricota Cosmos. So I have one Apricota that I can see, but there's another one that has like a root matrix that I can see. For the Xenia Cosmos, I have 3 germinating so far. So I planted 6 Xenia and I have 3 coming up. I don't think that's it. I think more will come up. And then in the Apricota, I just have... Where did you go? Just in this middle cell. Do you see like the white fuzz in... Hold on. Where are you here? Do you see that white fuzz? I thought that was mold, but I think that it's like root matrix, or like not root, but like something precursing root. I don't know. Hey, Sadik. Good morning. So yeah, we've got some movement on our cosmos, but it's mycelium. Well, they're surrounding the seeds, and I thought it might be mold, but it's not, because it's only surrounding the seeds that are germinating. So I feel like it's okay. Anyway, they are coming along, the cosmos. We've got lots of cosmos planted. So next I have my verbena, which has not germinated yet, and my hoppy red dye amaranth has also... Oh, no, one is germinating. Beautiful. See if I can show her to you. Do you see? Happy birthday to you. None in this tray. None in this tray. None here. None here. But there's one little baby there, and as soon as one pops... Ooh, then yes, it's the tiny little root structures. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was something, it's okay. It's not a problem. My soil is enriched with mycelium that's good for the plants, and sometimes it looks like mold. This is soil-less mix, which means it's sterile? Seed starting mix. Professional greenhouse quality mix. Maybe it does have soil. It doesn't say it doesn't say soilless mix. My mom uses soilless mix. Anyway, there's 2 ladybird butterfly cosmos that have popped up. 2 of 3. I have not given up hope on the 3rd one yet. It's only been a couple of days. We've got lots of time. Next, we have the Summer Dreams Cosmos and the Piketty Cosmos, and I have both of those have started germinating, which I'm very pleased about. Look at them. Look at those Summer Dreams. We have 2 of 6 up for the Summer Dreams, and we have 2 of 6 up for the Piketty. The Piketty is such a beautiful cosmo. It's like a very pale, almost white with like pink or purple outlines on the petals. Gorgeous. And then the Summer Dreams is almost the opposite. It's like a pink, pale pink white with a pink or purple center like of the petals. Gorgeous. She's gorgeous. And then last but not least from this first group of seedlings, which I'm very, very excited about. This is one of the things that I don't know what I was thinking last year when I thought I didn't like it, and then by the time they bloomed, I was obsessed. Look at these. These are my Clarkia Mountain Garland. So many are germinating. Look at these little tiny babies. What's crazy is that this plant, this tiny little plant, look how little it is right now. Just 2 leaves. This teeny tiny baby is going to be 4 feet tall and 3 feet wide. Like, it's a huge plant by the time it fully finishes. So even though I have like 30 of them germinated at this point, maybe not 30, that seems a bit of an exaggeration. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, I have, 16, 17. I have 17 germinated, it's not that big of an exaggeration. 17 germinated Clarkia Mountain Garland. I probably only need like 4. So the fact that so many germinated, most of them will not survive. They are very delicate at this stage. And this stage, it's very easy to lose them to like, what's it called? Dampening off, which is like when the root and the plant kind of decide they don't want to work together. And then the part that touches the middle, like the stem hits the soil, right at that point, it sort of rots. That's called dampening off. We can lose a lot of these to that. We can lose them to all kinds of things. They're a pretty sensitive little baby right now, but that's okay. I'm a sensitive little baby too, so I totally understand needing the absolute perfect conditions to not decide to die. So don't die. I still need you. You're very important to me. You're very special. My bachelor's buttons I feel really good about. It's an awesome thing to have them survive. Oh God. We've lost a cover. We've lost a cover. Let me just get these back onto the shelf and then I'll show you the next group. Whoa, and the first leaves are the tiniest. Isn't that crazy? Same thing with the amaranth though. Amaranth is the tiniest baby that you've ever seen. And yet somehow it grows into this magnificent giant plant. I mean, somehow it uses sunlight and science. It does it with science. Okay, now let's check out the zinnias because the zinnias are coming up. Let me just move some of my plants out of the way here. Zinnias are coming up great. The pink dandelion has not germinated, nor has the prairie smoke or the quaking grass. So I'm not going to show you those guys, but I'll show you my zins, my little zinnies. My other bachelor's buttons. Use 2 hands. Use 2 hands. All it's going to take is 1 time. Okay. Oh, hi guys. My other cosmos are doing really well too. Okay, so here's the rest of the group. Ugh, it sounds so pretty. It really is pretty. Okay, so these kids are my butterfly coreopsis. We have no germination yet. And then the black ball bachelor's buttons. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 germinating. Why are seed starting trays so flimsy? I refuse them every year. I don't know why, but I do like them in this smaller format, like having 12 of them, because then each one has its own individual watering tray. And I like that. But these ones are coming through the Black Ball Bachelor's buttons, which is exciting. They're like a really beautiful dark purple, almost black. And then we have the Scabiosa Dark Knight. Great germination rate. These were a seed packet, so these were not saved seeds. And so far I have 4 of 6 are germinated. And the other 2, I don't see anything yet, but I'm hopeful. Look at these cuties. Aren't they nice? Oh, I reuse them. Sorry, I read it as I refuse them every year. I refuse seed trays every year. Yeah, I reuse them every year. This is my first year with these ones because it was a Christmas gift. Anyway, my assorted Scabiosa, those were my saved seeds. Nothing's come from them yet. These ones were from a seed packet, and we've got 4 of 6. Scabiosa, beautiful, beautiful. Very excited to see the Dark Knight Scabiosa. The Dark Knight Scabiosa is like a very dark purple, nearly black. So we actually have quite a few really dark, almost black things this year. Also, this is something that's bringing me a lot of joy. My white cosmos, which was saved seeds. These are from my wedding flowers. So I had seed packets last year of the flowers I sent out to you guys the year that we were going to get married. And in that packet, there were white cosmos. I didn't label and save any white cosmos after that. So that's from 2021, those seeds. And then last year in my front garden, I just threw all of the rest of those seed packets into the garden and basically did like Hunger Games, whoever survives, survives. And one Cosmo plant was white. It just had a beautiful, big, fluffy white flower. And so every time the flowers would die, I was collecting the seeds. The plant probably only made 4 flowers. My front garden is not cared for. It's also in the shade. It had no business having cosmos in it. Here nor there. Collected the seeds, saved them, and now I have 3 germinated white cosmo seeds from my wedding flowers from 2021. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it. I'm pretty happy about it, if I can say so myself. Let me see if I can get this on camera. So do you see around this seedling, there's kind of like a gray fuzz, and then here on this soil right here, there's that gray fuzz. So this one's gonna germinate. So I'm gonna have 100% germination on my white cosmos, which is very joyful for me. And I'm very hopeful that we can have at least one of them survive to adulthood. So far, my Rubenza doesn't have anything coming out of it. I'm not giving up hope at all. And then my Dazzlers, I have 3 so far germinated, which is great. Love that for us. And then the zinnias. Okay, so the other zinnias haven't germinated yet, I think. What are you? Oh, you have. Sorry, I just left one. Okay, Queenie Lime Orange, we have 0 germination on so far, but that's okay. And then Glorious Red, I expect 100% germination on the Glorious Red. These are saved seeds from my mom's garden who lived like their best life. So I have so far 1. Oh, happy birthday. So far 1 has germinated, but I expect all 6. The Queenie Lime Orange, is this 2 different? No, it's just 1 that I put into. I hope. But in the worst case scenario, I will plant more. I'll just keep planting them until I get them because I really want them to survive. But we've got 1 Glorious Red, which is wonderful. It's called Glorious Red. I named it that. That's not the actual name for the zinnia. It's just the flower was spectacular. It literally was a glorious flower. Also, we've got good germination starting on the salmon. We don't have anything for the pink cactus hybrid yet, but if you look really up close at the soil here, you can see that that fuzz is there, and I'm convinced it is not mold. It is something to do with the roots of the plant. But we've got 2 baby salmon zinnias and then 1 on its way for the cactus zinnia. So we are in good shape. And tomorrow I'm going to be going to my parents' house for a family lunch dinner. Is it Easter yet? Could it be Easter I'm going to tomorrow? There's a possibility it's Easter. I've just been told tomorrow we're all getting together at my parents' house. So I'm going to see all my siblings, well, all of the ones that live within an hour, we're all gonna go to my parents' house and eat food, which is amazing because I love eating food. But I'm also going to collect all of the seedlings that my mom kept alive for me. And that's going to be awesome. Then I'm going to have to figure something else out for my shelf because at this moment, all of them fit, but I'm going to be adding in another 30-ish varieties of flower that my mom has been keeping alive for me while I was away. All right, and I've just put some extra plants in there for vibes. Where was this? Were you in here? It's a weird spot for you. Why did I put you there? Rohan, I gotta get you off this little makeshift curtain. I feel like I need something darker. This is not dark enough. Oh my god, I also... Look at these shoes I thrifted. Stop. Look at these. Look how cute they are. They're so cute. They're little Mary Janes. Aren't they cute? Just a little heel on them. Nothing too crazy. Obsessed. I'm using them to hold the curtain in place right now. It's not a curtain, it's a piece of fabric, but I need a thicker one so that the background isn't like stark white. Maybe this will do. Those look so uncomfortable. They're not, they are so comfortable. They're literally, it's like wearing ballet flats with a 2-inch heel. Not even 2 inches. Is it even 2 inches? It's so comfortable. They're like men's dress shoes. Literally wouldn't have bought them if they were uncomfortable. Let's be honest. Excuse me, Rohan. Excuse me. You have to move. Move, please. Excuse me. Excuse me. You're sitting in a spot that I need you to move from. I know it's warm, but I need to put this up there. Don't you understand? Don't you know? Okay, hold on. Let me find something to put that's heavier. Ugh. There. Don't touch that. It's not for you. Okay, there we go. Good. Is that better? A little less bright right in the foreground. Anyway, that was my excitement. Now it looks so bright in here. I feel like I need to adjust my brightness. My brightness was there. Oh, I foraged oranges yesterday. Were they good? What do you mean you foraged oranges? Were they wild oranges, or did you ask somebody if you could go into their yard? Ugh, sorry, my nose just started running. Ugh, rough. Okay. Where's my coffee? There it is. Oh, beautiful. Cool that you foraged oranges. I love that for you. I want to be able to forage oranges, but I live in the north. I live in the north. There are no oranges to forage. Foranges. So, not happening. Anyway, those shoes are amazing and they are comfortable. So there's that. And they should be sturdier. The thing that the only thing I don't agree on them being sturdier for is if they're sturdier, then you can't get the baby seedlings out. Like, when you pull them out, when you're transplanting them, I'm sorry, my hair is... I touched it too much and then the curls disappeared and I need them because I'm so proud of them. Look how cute they are. Okay. And they were good. On the dog walk, we went by the graveyard. Love that. Under a tree overhanging the fence. Oranges. And they were good. That's amazing. I am a little bit jealous that you live in a place where you can find foraged oranges. Get off of there. What crimes do you think you can commit? Those are not yours. Those are mine. Dang bird. Anyway, I'm happy you had oranges. That's nice. I spent the afternoon yesterday with my friend. I went over the one with twins and we spent the day together. We watched a Ghibli movie and I don't know what it was called. But it was about a girl and they're in Japan and it's just after the Korean War. And there's no magic. So, if that helps. It was a nice movie. It was a Ghibli movie, so it was pretty. My roomie still thinks someone just tossed them all around, but he's crazy. Oh, you found them on the ground. under a tree overhanging the fence. You found them on the ground. Was there any evidence that the tree that they fell off was an orange tree? Did you just pick up someone's garbage candy? Probably not. Do you live somewhere where orange trees are a thing? Do other people in your area have orange trees that produce fruit? Imagine someone just bought a dozen oranges and threw them all over the ground and you're like, it's great. Also, for those of you that aren't in our Discord, I have something to show you. Nothing I could see in the tree, but there were also orange on the inside of the fence. Okay, that's a good sign. Ugh, sorry. Okay, so for those of you who are not in my Discord, I have something to show you, and it's important, and you need to know about it. And it's this. This is what you need to see. Yeah. So this is my dog Thunder, who passed away 3 months ago. We had to put him down. He had a medical emergency that was the result of his Cushing's disease. He had a tumor, and either the tumor grew to a point where it caused continuous seizures, or the tumor metastasized and exploded somewhere in his body. He had like blood in his lungs. He was having seizures. He was dying, and we had to put him down, and it was heartbreaking, and it was the hardest thing that we ever had to do. However, we loved him very much for his whole life. He was 14 years old when he passed away, and we had him since he was like 3.5. We adopted him when he was 3.5 years old. He was just a baby, and he was the most beautiful soul. He deserved to live forever. If there is a heaven, Thunder was an exception, and he was allowed into it. Anyway, this is my beautiful baby boy with his fucking bug eyes and his tiny little face. Anyway, I'm not looking for a new dog. That is not something I'm actively looking for. However, I do check into the shelters periodically just to see, just to have a look, because I figure when it's the right time, my heart will know. And this is why I asked for your guys' opinion, because I don't know if it's the right time. But also, look at this little dog's face. Look at him. He's like if Thunder was a goth. Look at his black eyeliner and his black nose. Look at him, Alex. Look at his stupid face. And I didn't even think about it, but this is what I wrote in the Discord. So this is what was in the ad. This is Tio. He's a 3.5-year-old, 8-pound Chihuahua. 3.5 years old. He's neutered and up to date on his shots. Due to his owner's rapidly deteriorating health, he's being rehomed. As far as Chihuahuas go, Tio is great with people, not young children, and probably best with no other dogs in the home. He's very cuddly and loves to play. He's a good little guy. It also said in the ad that he gets along great with dogs at dog parks, just not when they're in his house. And I'm like, he's a Chihuahua. I get it. And so then I was looking at him, and look at the markings on his head. Do you see it goes like it's like a little lightning bolt sort of in the white? Look at Thunder's. Also a little lightning bolt in the white. They're not the same. I'm not trying to replace Thunder. That's never been the plan. It just is interesting that he is a lot of the same things as Thunder. Like he's 3.5 years old. He has a loving family. He's adorable. Thunder was all those things. Anyway, I said I also found him yesterday, exactly 3 months after Thunder died. Yesterday was the 3-month anniversary of Thunder's death. And then I was saying, I don't know what I think. Am I being ridiculous? Of course, Louisa said, I don't think you need any help with this decision. And I said, stop, because that's not true. I didn't, anyway. And then I said, I think we could be a good fit, but I don't know if we should dive back in yet. He will likely come with some behavioral issues because he's a Chihuahua. It doesn't say it in the ad for him, but like he's a Chihuahua. I'm not expecting him to be perfect. Anyway, I said he'll need lots of attention and time, and I'm auntie of the year right now. So like a lot of people in my life need me to help with babies. Like there are many babies in my life and I am auntie of the year. And then I didn't even clock it. His name is Tio. And then Candy said, "Isn't Tio Spanish for uncle? Seems like it's meant to be." And I was like, wait, auntie of the year and her dog Uncle? That's effing cute. So literally me. Wait, auntie of the year and uncle what? And then Louisa replies, "See." So, I did put a poll in the Discord, and I did receive a couple of different reviews. So, if you're in our Discord, go ahead and vote. But I put, "Is Tio meant to be in our family?" Option number 1, "Stop, Laura, it's not time." Option number 2, "Go and get him." Option number 3, "I abstain from voting." So we've got a little bit of everything in there. But I didn't even clock the Tio part. And I was like, could we rename him Uncle? Or Unk? This is Uncle. This is little Uncle. Is Uncle a stupid name for a dog? Tio is not a stupid name. Anyway, I have not heard back from the organization yet. I'm literally checking my email right now, just in case something has come up while we were talking. Okay, it has not yet. We are not there. Let me just check my account on the website. Check if you're still there. Please still be listed. Okay, so he's still listed. I will say the one thing that stresses me out a little bit is he has had 469 views on his page. That's a lot of people. He's also in Ottawa, so it would be a road trip for us to go pick him up. I'm not sold. I'm not convinced. However, I'm kind of in this place where my heart is open to it, and I'm waiting to hear back before I feel anything. But I feel like if I feel sad, if another family gets picked, if I feel sad, maybe that means it is time for us to start looking, because I was hopeful for this dog. Whereas if he gets picked and I don't feel anything, then I think that I'm not ready yet. And I know that we have the ability to care for a dog. And I said to Alex, like, it is a whole other animal to bring into the house. And he said, a dog is easier than any of our other pets. And I thought, that's not true. A dog has to be walked. They go and poop outside. And Alex was like, our cats are insane and birds are a huge handful. A dog added into this situation is not a lot. And while I agree with him, I'm also feeling like Alex feels more ready than I thought he would, because he said, I don't care what you choose, I support what you choose. But the problem with that for me is that means that I have to pick the right thing, because if Alex had a really strong opinion, we would be making the decision together. But he doesn't have a really strong opinion. He feels like, if we have a dog, I will be happy to have a dog. If we don't have a dog, I will be happy to have no dog. Like, he's very like neutral on if we add pets to the house. But when I said that to him, when I said, you seem super neutral on it, I don't know, like, if I want to be the only one involved in making the decision, because if it's wrong, I'll feel really bad. Like, I made the decision on Rohan. I, like, basically just brought him into our home. Like, Alex agreed. But anyway, Rohan came with a lot of issues that we didn't expect, and that cost a lot of money. And while I love Rohan and I'm glad we have him and whatnot, that still sits a little weird with me that Alex didn't make that decision. He just accepted it. And then he had to also accept financial responsibility and like a bunch of extra responsibilities because of him. However, also, so this all happened yesterday. On Wednesday night, always a Wednesday night, I cried. I had a cry about Thunder. And I haven't cried about Thunder well, that's not true. I cried when I was with my sister. We talked about him for a couple hours and we both just cried and talked about our dogs that died. But Okay, well, I can't even say that. On Wednesday, I was getting ready for bed. Alex was already downstairs. He was already ready for bed. And I was turning off the lights. I locked our door. And then I went into this room to Thunder's dog bed to get him. Like, my brain just was on autopilot getting ready for bed. And I went to go get Thunder. And then I came into the room and my brain was like, he's not in here. But while I was locking the door, my brain was like, the last thing we have to do is get Thunder and bring him downstairs. Like, it was just part of the plan. And then I came into the room and I was like, oh, he's not here. Obviously, he's been dead for 3 months. But it came back like a flash into my heart. And I was just heartbroken. And I went downstairs and I said to Alex, I got into bed and I was not crying yet. I was just sad. And I was like, I went to go get Thunder and he wasn't there, because of course he wasn't there, because he's been dead. But I forgot. I just forgot for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. Like, I actively forgot for 4 seconds, but I was passively forgetting that he had died for the whole time that I was like locking the doors, turning off the lights, like getting ready for bed. Because it was part of the plan, like, don't forget Thunder before you go downstairs. And then when I came to get him, I was like, of course he's not here, he's dead. And then I went downstairs and I had a big cry about it, about how I still miss him so much, about how our bed feels like it's missing something, because he used to take up this much space in our bed, but he took up the whole bed with just his 1 foot square little body. He filled the bed. Our bed was full and whole. And I just felt sad and remembering him, thinking, I can't believe he's gone, and I can't believe we're just living our life and beautiful, happy, joyful things are happening, but he's just not here. And anyway, and then the next morning, when I was just doing my casual, like having my coffee, opening all of my work on my computer, I also have the shelters and I'm scrolling, and then that dog came up. And so maybe there's part of me that was sad about missing Thunder, and it was serendipitous that this dog came up and it felt like a connection was there. And then I started making connections that maybe aren't there. Like, Thunder was 3.5 years old when we adopted him. This dog is 3.5 years old. Thunder was clearly loved by whoever was his family. Like, he you know, like, people adopt dogs and they're like, he was abused. He winces when you like raise your hand at him. Thunder was like the opposite. Thunder was like clearly loved. He wasn't trained at all. So like, he had a barking problem and he didn't know where he was supposed to go pee, but he was truly like a loved dog. Whoever had him must have been heartbroken to give him up. That's like, there's no way that someone was like, I don't want this dog anymore. He was just so like easily attached to me that he was obviously not a traumatized dog. They said that he was picked up as a stray, but that feels crazy to me because he was clearly someone's lap dog. Like, there's no way that he was not someone's loved pet. So I think that in the shelter system, he just got kind of lost, because that doesn't make sense to me that he was found on the streets in northern Quebec, like a Chihuahua. I doubt it. So anyway, this dog is not in Quebec, but he is in the French-speaking part of Ottawa. And he's 3.5 years old, and he's got a senior. His mom is a senior who is deteriorating. Her health has deteriorated to a point that she's being homed in like a assisted living, and so this dog may come with some issues, like neglect issues. Like, he might have bad teeth because he's been with someone who's like been deteriorating for a while. Like, if you're getting to the point where you're sick enough that you're going not into assisted living, like more than assisted living, like she's not well. If you're getting to that point, are you walking your dog, feeding your dog, brushing your dog's teeth, cutting his nails? Like, maybe not. So there's probably some issues with this dog, but it's nothing I'm afraid of, because I love Chihuahuas. Like, I love them. I never believed I would be a Chihuahua person. And then after Thunder, I don't think I want to choose any other breed. I love all of the idiosyncrasies of Chihuahua. They're annoying. They are needy. They're so smart. They're very understated. I feel like people see a Chihuahua and they're like, that dog is sitting in a purse and it's stupid. Wrong. That dog is sitting in a purse because he's cold and his legs are short and he's very smart. Like, Thunder knew so many tricks. I'm going to tell you all of them right now. Okay, he did sit, lie down, stay, roll over, turn around, give me a paw, stick him up. He would do bang. So I would say stick him up and he'd sit on his back legs. Then I go bang and he would flop over dead. He wasn't great at the flopping over dead part because he would wag his tail because he was so proud that he was doing it. And I'm like, you're supposed to be dead. But he did the fall down part really great, really good. He could whisper. So I would go speak and he would bark. And then I would go speak and he would go roof, roof. He was perfect. We could also do speak and then he would bark and I would go speak and he would bark louder. Amazing. What else did Thunder do? He crawled. So I got him to like come here. And then if I said come here in a quiet voice, he would crawl forward. He was perfect. He could jump into my arms on command. He sometimes had to use my leg as a like jump off point, but brilliant, beautiful, genius dog. But he was just a Chihuahua. And when we met him, when we adopted him, he didn't even know sit. So like super smart. Of course, every dog is different. This dog could be genuinely like really stupid and unable to learn anything, but that doesn't change how I feel about him. You know what I mean? Like if he doesn't even ever learn sit, I'll still like him. So anyway, if it's meant to be, it'll happen. If it's meant to happen, it's going to happen when it's meant to. If it's not meant to happen, it won't happen. But I haven't made a decision. I think I haven't made a decision because I haven't had the opportunity to. I feel like right now I'm in limbo until I hear back from the people. There's no point in me being like, absolutely or absolutely not. I did reach out to them. I said like, we are a couple. We work from home. We live in a pretty quiet house. We have a couple of birds, a couple of cats, but they've been with a dog before, and I'm not concerned about their safety with a Chihuahua, and I'm not concerned about the Chihuahua's safety with them. And I basically gave our story of how we have the income to support a dog. We have had a Chihuahua before that we loved for his whole life, and that we like work from home, a quiet home, blah, blah, blah. We don't have kids. We don't have plans to have kids, blah. So we'll see. Like I said, there were 400 and something other views of his profile. So I'm sure there are lots of other applications that they're going through. So I'm not expecting a reply right away. I kind of was expecting a reply like 5 minutes later, but now I'm being realistic and I'm probably not going to get a reply for a couple of days, and that's fine. My plan is to reach out again on Monday if I haven't heard anything by the end of day on Monday. However, if it doesn't work out, I'm going to be okay with it. But I think, actually, I've been talking through this. Now that I'm talking through it, I think if it doesn't work out, I'm going to say to myself, like, wait 1 month. And maybe on the anniversary of Thunder's death every month, I'll look. And that'll be how I keep time between. Because I don't want to be scrolling, like madly scrolling, looking for a dog. I would rather have one come when it's right. So if I put a time on it, like on the 10th of every month, I'll look. If there are no dogs on the 10th of every month, then maybe it's not time. You know what I mean? I just feel like, I said to Alex, like, if we want to travel somewhere, like, what are we going to do? And he was like, what do you mean? We'll do what we did for the last 10 years. We'll bring the dog. And Alex is very much an enabler for me. If he thinks something will bring me joy, he gets behind it and he supports it forever. Like, Rohan was, with Peace and Love, Rohan was a bad decision. With Peace and Love, the birds were a bad decision. I love the decision we made. I'm very happy with the way that our life is right now. However, the time that we decided to bring the birds into our life, that was a bad choice. The time that we decided to bring Rohan into our life, bad choice. So I'm not really reliable for like if it's a good choice to get an animal, because I'm never going to make the right choice. I'm always going to choose the animal because I love animals. So I usually need a little bit of support from Alex that it's a good choice or not, because to me, in my animal loving brain, it's always a good choice. And then later on, I'm like, that was stupid. birds are really expensive to keep, actually, and birds are also a huge responsibility. I love them. I'm willing to work with what they have. I'll meet them where they're at. I'm not expecting anything other than what they are. But birds are crazy. Like, don't get birds. That's a stupid thing. If you are not working from home, if you are not in a detached house, if you are not able to afford a exotic vet, if you are not able to afford regular toys that get destroyed intentionally, like, don't get a bird. If you're not willing to be bitten and bleed from your animal, don't get a bird. Do not get a parrot. They are not a good animal to have as a pet. I love my parrots. I love the chaos they bring to my life. I've already told you guys this. I haven't had a panic attack since we got these parrots because I'm not allowed to sit in my head. The minute I sit in my head for too long, they sit on my shoulder and bite my hair. Like, they do not let me get wrapped up in my own thoughts, which if that's like, if you don't have anxiety, that might be really frustrating for you because you can't be wrapped up in your own thoughts. You just can't. But for me, that means I can't spiral. Amazing. I love it. They are a huge mess. They are a huge responsibility. Anytime we leave for more than like 6 hours, we need someone to come to our house and tend to them because they need to be getting fresh water 2 times a day. They need new food. Probably every 3 days is when they would like actually run out of food, but we refresh their food every day. And they need their cage cleaned, spot cleaned every day, but once a week, a deep clean. And then the house gets spot cleaned every day because they poop wherever they feel like, and then it needs a deep clean once a week. So it adds a huge amount of tasks. They're not hard tasks, but they do take up time and they are annoying. So anyway, I don't regret any of the decisions I've made for any of the pets that I have, but they did complicate my life. So I know that is a possibility with another dog. I won't regret getting the dog because the dog will bring so much love into my life, and I love animals. You could literally give me any animal except a turtle, and I would happily accept it and then go, oh no, what do I do now? And I'd have to figure it out along the way. But anyway, I don't regret any of the decisions for any of the pets that I've ever had, even the turtles. I think that, no, I don't regret getting the turtles. I regret not knowing. I regret not doing my work beforehand. I just thought turtles are cute. No, they're not cute when you live in a basement 1-bedroom apartment. Do not get turtles if you live in a basement 1-bedroom apartment. Your whole apartment will smell like rotting feces. It's disgusting. They need a pond, bro. Turtles are not a pet. Turtles are livestock. Turtles are not a pet. If you have an outdoor pond, go ahead, get a turtle. If you have an indoor aquarium, do not get a turtle. They're not a good pet. Anyway, I thought they would be a good pet. That was a bad choice. But we have had many pets throughout our years. Alex and I, we've had 2 snakes, 3 lizards, 2 turtles, 2 bearded... Bless you! 2 bearded dragons, 3 cats, a dog, 2 birds... We've had a lot of things. So anyway, another dog is not going to make or break our life. We can afford it. We can afford the attention it needs. And we do have support if we need someone to watch the dog for a period of time. We have that. However, it has gotten more difficult because now that all of my friends and siblings have children, I can't ask them to watch. Like I used to have 3 friends who could watch Thunder or the cats if we went away. And I had 2 siblings and my parents. Now all of those are gone except my parents. So I only have the support of one family, like my mom and dad, one house to house my animals if we need to go somewhere or be somewhere for a period of time. So it has complicated things, but like Alex said, we used to bring Thunder anywhere we went. When we went to Nova Scotia, we brought Thunder. When we go camping, we bring Thunder. Every time we go to Ottawa, bring Thunder. He's just part of... He was part of the package. If you invite me to stay with you, you're inviting Thunder to stay with you because Thunder is always with me. Oh God, he is always with me. I miss that dog so much. I wish I could have loved him more. I wish I did better. I wish I loved him harder. I wish I had more time to just stare into his face. He was perfect. He was a perfect dog. Every dog is a perfect dog. I know that. Beaker and Tink's baby is talking. I need 10, Melanie said. Stink pot turtles, just the name tells me that that's gross, are small enough for aquarium life. Yeah, but if you've ever smelled a turtle, or the smell... Also, they just have salmonella. Turtles just have salmonella. So I'm surprised that Alex and I never got salmonella. I handle my pets. I'm not someone who like keeps pets in a container and just stares at them. It's not my style. I am very much someone who is hands-on with all of my animals, and I never got salmonella. Turtles, their poop just contains it. They just have it. They just have it. I meant 10 birds, not turtles, if that was confusing. At first I did think you meant 10 turtles, and I was like, that's gross. 10 turtles would be too many turtles. But 10 birds would also be so many birds, bro. The noise of 10 birds, the noise of 2 birds is insane. You like, okay, right now they're being quiet. Of course they are, because they're sweet, gentle little angels when I'm telling you how hard they are. But I think 10 birds would also be too many birds. 10 birds would be too many birds. Unless you have an aviary that's like separated from your house in some way, 10 birds would be insane. I was talking to my sister about this family. I used to babysit for this family when I was a kid. And I would babysit and I did like housekeeping stuff. So I would like do ironing and laundry and things. But I also did care for their birds. So I would do like bird like cage changes. They had 26 cockatiels. 26 cockatiels. And then they had like 3 or 4 lovebirds. But they had 26, I remember it was 26 cockatiels. They had them in one bedroom in the basement with like a concrete floor, so it was easy to clean. But you'd go into their house, you'd hear nothing, and then you'd open the door to the basement, and it was just this like cacophony of shrieking and chirping and just shredding noises. It was very loud. And when you went into the room, they would go nuts. Like, they weren't all tame because there were 26 of them. And they were all, like, they were caged at night and loose in the day. But the room they had was, I don't know, 6 feet by 6 feet. And it didn't have a window in it. And I remember going in there and being like, are these birds happy? Are these birds okay? And then that thought left my mind because I was in awe of how many birds were around me. And some of them would bite, some of them were friendly. I don't remember what they had in terms of like socialization stuff. I don't know what they had in terms of toys. I don't have any memory of what their cages looked like on the inside. I just know there were cages around the edge of the room and the birds were all loose, except for there were a couple like really mean ones that stayed in the cage. But there was one that was like very old and missing most of its feathers, and that one had a name. I think they all had names, but there were a few that were clearly like heart birds for the couple. It was so bizarre. And I remember feeling like you would never know that this household had pets, and then they have 26 birds in the basement. Loud. Cockatiels are loud. And I loved going there. I loved being like, do the birds need their cages cleaned? And they're like, actually, we just need you to fold all this laundry. And I was like, are you sure? Because I could change all the water for the birds. And they'd be like, after you do the laundry, you can go change the birds' water. And I would be like, thank you. Anyway, I remember when I was a Girl Scout, my scout leader had like 40 doves. Doves are an outside pet though, aren't they? By the way, hi bulkheads. Doves are an outside pet. I think. I don't think that maybe people keep individual doves indoors, but I feel like doves are an outdoor pet. Doves and pigeons. Have you seen some of these pigeons that look like chickens? I don't need any more birds in my life, nor do I want any, but do pigeons even make angry noise? Like, other than they're like, what a soft noise. Chicken, pigeon. You need to see these pigeons. So you know what a normal pigeon looks like, right? Like, you know in your head. But do you know this pigeon? Look at this thing. Does he need me? Because what the heck? They are mostly outdoors. They definitely brought them in, though. That's cool. I'm fine with that. Like, okay, so here's like... Okay, that's not even a normal pigeon. There's like kind of a normal pigeon, but you can see it's obviously been bred to be shaped that way. But then look at this. Look at this thick boy. Look at this thick boy. Come on. Look at his little fat belly. I love him. Look at him. You could have these instead of chickens. Who needs chickens? Me. I still need chickens. I love chickens. Chickens are the best. He's so rotund. He's literally so rotund. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He's a big boy. A showbird. Look at him. He's so cute. Why is it making my eyes water? It's so cute it's making me cry. Stop it. Come on. Look at this thick boy. What do I do with that? Look at that. That's a fat boy. He's not even standing like a bird anymore. I bet you the skeleton of this animal looks like a dinosaur. Like, who's doing this? What breeding project is this? This is freakish. This is a French bulldog pigeon. If French bulldogs were pigeons, it would be this. That's just a head. Those are two separate... That looks like it's two separate photos chopped together, doesn't it? He's a big boy, right? Now that is cute. So vertical. Yeah, like, where is the horizontal part? Also, if I can have a pigeon the size of a chicken... Come on. It looks like a frickin' pheasant. It looks like, first of all, what is this? Freak pigeon. If I could have this or this, why would it even, it's not even a choice. Disgusting. Amazing. I bet you this pigeon lives a year. This pigeon is not long for this world. That does not look like a healthy animal. Look at these boys. That's a chicken. Why are you building chicken pigeons? I'm okay with it. I support this breeding program. If you could breed more chicken pigeons for me, I would be okay with it. The Maltese chicken, or Maltese pigeon, beautiful. Look at this freak. No, why are you saying that? Look at this freak. What are you? You're a freak. This is a dove. Look at, oh, so pretty, so cute, so normal. It's normal shaped. What is that? What is this? Chicken pigeon hybrids? Don't even tell me that that's a thing. Hold on. Can chickens and pigeons breed? Don't F with me right now. They can breed and produce viable offspring? Stop it. I can have chicken pigeons? Okay. Hybrid birds with pigeon heads and chicken bodies have been reported, suggesting successful breeding. This is AI telling me this, though. Domestic fowl can be crossed and produce fertile offspring with silver pheasants, red jungle fowl, and green jungle fowl. This is a pigeon chicken. They look like how chickens looked when kids try to draw them, literally. Cartoonish. Could we use them like a rooster or goose, you think, to guard the chickens? Could we use them as chickens? Can I just have... Look at this freak! What are you? Why do you look like that? Look at this. I need him. This goose pigeon chicken. I love him. I love him and I need him. Who are you? Who did this to you? What have they done? Science is amazing. And then there's these big boys. Look at that thick boy. And they're not small either. They're like not chicken sized, but they're not pigeon sized. What do you mean you can breed a chicken and a pigeon? Look at this. Someone's making a chicken and a pigeon breed. That's weird. Breeding programs, I guess, are weird because you're making something happen that really would not happen. Okay, what are you showing me here? What are you showing me? Oh, that's just varieties of those. Like, look at this freakish little face. So, short beak enigma solved. It's a mutation. Look, there's a normal pigeon on the one side, and then there's a freak little alien pigeon. It's probably not a functional bird because its beak is so small and it doesn't do what it's like supposed to be able to do. But look at how pretty it is. Look at how pretty his little face is. This little French bulldog chicken. It's an owl pigeon. Look, he's so cute. He's so stupid. My son has 2 pet pigeons. No way, Candace. I'd love a pigeon. I would love this pigeon. Look at her. She's so pretty. She's just a pretty lady. Look at her. Oh, she's so demure. Look at her little face. Come on. She needs me. This is why I can't shop for animals on the internet, because then I will have too many animals. So this is why I need to put limits on myself. Because if I don't, I'm going to come home. Alex also said, absolutely, Laura, no pigeons as pets. No doves, no pigeons. You're not allowed. I'm putting my foot down. They disgust me. And I said, we'll put a pin in that and we'll come back to it in the future. And he said, no, I never want pet pigeons. And I said, I hear you. That's what I said. I hear you. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I agree that in our current apartment, we shouldn't have pigeons here. I agree with you that pigeons would be a bad decision at the current home that we live in. So we'll just put a pin in that and we'll come back to it later. Just like with the snakes. And then he went to work and he came home and we had 2 snakes. So there's that. Yeah. I won't just bring a pigeon into the home. That would be disrespectful and it would go against my partner's wishes. If we had a coop full of chickens and a pigeon chicken ended up in that coop, who am I? Whomst among us would not accept 1 pigeon chicken. I had that rule growing up because my grandparents hated pigeons. I couldn't even get a ringneck dove. Yeah, I continuously in our 2nd or 3rd apartment, I invited pigeons onto our balcony, and Alex hated it because I would be like, don't scare them. There's a nest. So we had to move all of our balcony furniture to the other side of the balcony. And Alex didn't like that they pooped all over our balcony. And when the babies were hatched, they pooped all over our balcony. And I was like, they're babies. What do you want from them? What do you expect? They are babies. And he hated them from then on. And then every other apartment that we lived in, he actively would not allow me to provide supports for pigeons on the balcony. So I didn't, mostly, except the next. I love animals, and I don't think that you can put a limit on that. So that's that. Candace, I love that you raised a zookeeper. He also has a bunny, a chinchilla, an iguana, many fish, and 3 chihuahuas, and 3 cats. Well, if he needs a new home for any of his chihuahuas, don't ask me, because I'm not looking for a new dog. If anyone in the world were to say to me, like, I have this chihuahua, it's broken, and I'm going to throw it out, I would be like, I will have it. Thank you. I have baby pigeons right now. The mama flies away when I leave the house, and I always say, it's okay. I know you have babies. I won't hurt ya. Me, I would bring seeds out for the mama, and she would fly away, and I would go, just for when you come back. Although I definitely did hold her babies and look at the eggs and touch the eggs. I was fully involved. Fun fact about birds. People say don't touch the eggs. The parents will reject them. This is not true. This is just not true. They tell children that so that children don't touch eggs. Never followed that advice. Never caused the death of a baby bird as a child. I touched every egg in every nest that I still touch every egg in every nest that I come across. I put them back. I don't turn them over. I pick them up how they are and I put them down how they are. I look at them in my hand and I put them back in the nest. It's just what I do because I have a mental health. I'm neurodivergent. That's why. It's my neurodivergence. I have to. Anyway, I'm happy it's a myth also. I do appreciate that that's what they tell children because children hold things too hard and break them. I, as a child, did not do that because I was obsessed with wildlife and I would revisit the nest every single day. until babies were born, and then I would revisit the babies every single day until they flew away, and then I would check on the nest periodically through summer. And that was something I would do as part of my summer. I would track all the nests in the neighborhood. We had a pond at the end of our, I lived on a cul-de-sac, and we had a hill, and then it went down into this big pond, which was actually part of a lake stream system. I think it's called 7 Mile Creek is what it's called. Anyway, it's a bunch of ponds connected by streams. And the large pond that we had in our neighborhood was surrounded by trees, willows. There were giant weeping willows. There were lots of trees in the surrounding sort of bush area of the pond. And I would go in the spring with a notebook, and I would count all of the nests. I would count the eggs that each of the nests had. I would track what birds were laying where. And I would track it so that next year I would know, well, the goldfinches tend to lay in this patch of plants. And you know what's crazy about this? This was not information I told anybody about. This was just for Laura. I would go with my fishing pole and my tackle box and my little journal and my big pair of pliers. And I would go fishing for the day, and I would take fishing breaks to go and track the birds in this pond section. I would count how many geese nests there were, how many duck nests there were, how many eggs, how many hatched from each nest, how many survived out of the ducks and geese, because I could trace them. And I would track how many goldfinch nests, how many robin's nests, how many red-winged blackbird nests, where the red-winged blackbirds preferred to put their nests. I was literally is that autism? I don't know. I know that I spoke almost nonstop when I was with human beings, and then I would be silent for hours while following, tracking, tracing these animals. Now that I don't think I've ever said it out loud. Now that I'm saying it out loud, that feels like a little bit of something that anyone in my family might have seen and gone, that seems a little neurospicy to me. I didn't even tell anyone about the tracking. I bet you my journal still exists in one of those totes that my dad has. I bet you I could find that and tell you how many red-winged blackbird eggs hatched for 6 years. That's wild. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, that's pretty clearly neurodivergent. I didn't tell anyone about it. It was just something I did. I didn't do it for any reason. It wasn't for school. It wasn't for a friend. It wasn't to show my parents. It was literally just because it was something I wanted to know about. Anyway, I touched every single egg in every single nest of every single one of those nests for every year that I did this. No babies were ever harmed. Well, I have autism, ADHD, and that sounds just like me. Well, I definitely have ADHD, but the more I look back into my childhood, the more autistic things I see. I don't know about now. I know that I do have some sensory seeking that is pretty aggressive. If I'm really enjoying something, my hands need to hit something. It can be my other hand, it can be my body, or it can be a surface. But I know that when I'm really enjoying something, I need an impact on my hands. And I always just was I clap to music. But it's not me clapping to music. It's me, I need to hit my hands on something. And the most appropriate thing is clapping. But when Alex and I drive, when we were on our road trip home, there were a few times where I was my hands hurt and I need to keep hitting them against something hard because I need to. I, along with some professionals, truly believe it's one spectrum. Yeah. I mean, I feel rather than a spectrum, Melanie, it's more the circle of colors that you can pinpoint a color. It's not a color wheel. It's a color, I'm thinking in Photoshop, but you like use your mouse and you can click a point and it picks the color that you pointed at, like that. So it's not a spectrum like from A to B. It's a spectrum like you might be up here or over here or down here or up here, like that kind of thing. Let's see. That's why Asperger's got grouped with autism spectrum disorder. To me, that was the bridge diagnosis between ADHD and autism. Yeah, Alex got diagnosed with Asperger's. Well, he got diagnosed with autism, but the doctor who diagnosed him said, if you had been diagnosed as a kid, they probably would have just said you have Asperger's rather than autism, but now it's all part of the same thing, so you're autistic. And I laughed and said, told ya. And then Alex said, I don't think he said anything. I don't think he said anything. We just mask more. We're just the social autistics. The autistics with energy. We're the autistics who feel guilty about it. That's all. Alex feels no guilt about the way that he is. He doesn't feel any kind of way, shyness or otherwise, about the way that he is. He's just that way. Whereas I have like Catholic guilt for all of my traits. My sister actually said that she felt really sad while I was up there, because I said multiple times, like, oh my God, we are like getting along this whole trip. We haven't been fighting. And like, I know I'm annoying. I know that I like bother people and that my personality is really like abrasive for a lot of people, but it seems like I'm not annoying you at all. And she was like, it really is sad that you see yourself like that. And I hadn't considered it. And she said, like, you're not annoying. And I said, I don't know how many times you specifically, sister, but also every adult, every child, every teacher, everyone who wasn't one of my friends, how many times the word annoying is been told to me. I've been told many times, like, you're too much, you talk too much, there's two parts to a conversation, talking and listening. Like, not everyone wants to hear about your special interest, Laura. But it still impacts me as an adult because I apologize for myself. Like, I'm sorry if I'm so happy we're having such a good time. I know usually I'm so annoying. And she was like, you always say I'm so annoying and you're too much, but like, don't. That's just who you are. And I was like, I guess. And she said, do your friends tell you you're annoying? And I was like, no, none of the friends I have as an adult have ever made me feel like I'm too much or like I'm annoying, ever. And Alex has never, ever, like, rolled his eyes in the middle of one of my info dumps. I've never internalized any of his body language. I mean, Alex has got a blunted affect. His autism makes it very blunted. So, like, he doesn't react normally to a lot of things, but like I'm very hyper aware when people show any level of disinterest. I'm very hyper aware when people's facial features do something. So if someone got dust on their face and goes, like, I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna clock it, and I'm gonna investigate if it's dust or if they were like annoyed by me. And I'm very hyper aware of that. And none of my friends ever have given me any reason to believe that I'm too much or that I'm, like, annoying. And yet it's part of my identity that I know in myself that I'm annoying. I know I annoy people. But, like, none of the people that I love, none of the people that care about me, not anymore. I mean, like, as a child, I definitely annoyed everyone. But it's weird that I've totally internalized this aspect of myself as being my identity. But yeah, ever since I was diagnosed, Bulkhead said, a lot of my childhood behavior started to make sense. I always wonder if my parents and teachers had any idea. Well, my parents definitely knew I had ADHD because they were told by doctors and by teachers, like, you need to get this girl on Ritalin, like, she has ADHD. And my parents said, no, I don't think we do. I don't think we need to do anything. I think she's doing well in school, and I think she's pretty happy and well-rounded. I don't think we need to do anything about it. And I know I was annoying to teachers because I was often sent out of class because I wouldn't stop talking. I was a straight A student, but everyone who sat, like, my teachers put this on report cards. Laura's doing very well in the class. Every student in her immediate circle is not doing well in the class because I would be talking and people would listen. That's not my fault. I would still be listening. I just also was talking. I heard everything the teacher said. I was just also talking. Can't you do two things at once? That sounds like a you problem. But anyway, my parents were like, she does not need medication. There's nothing wrong with her. She's happy. She's well-rounded. She sleeps well. She eats well. She plays well. And she's doing well in school. I'm not medicating a child that's doing fine, which I very much appreciate because I had a great childhood. I started taking Adderall in university because I was struggling. It was the first time that I had to maintain like my sleep schedule, my groceries, all that stuff. And I really struggled when all the responsibility ended up on me. And my doctor, I went and I said, I think I have ADHD. And she said, yeah. And I said, what do you mean, yeah? And she was like, honey, yeah, you've had ADHD since you were a kid. Yeah. And I was like, what do you mean? Did everyone know? And he was like, she said, well, your family knows. And I said, I have never spoken to my family ever about this. And then she was like, maybe do that. And I went home and I talked to my mom and I said, I got diagnosed with ADHD. And she was like, yeah, when you were like 6. And I was like, what? And I was like, I have ADHD. And she said, yeah. And I was like, I'm 19. What do you mean, yeah? What do you mean, yeah? I've been struggling for a year in university thinking I'm the problem. Nobody told me that this was something about me. Anyway, I got on Adderall in university and it helped me get through university. Now I can't take Adderall anymore because it is way too much of a stimulant for me. So I'm currently on a ADHD medication called Concerta, which I'm not a gatekeeper. It is methylphenidate hydrochloride. Methylphenidate hydrochloride. Anyway, when I pick up my prescription, they send me a text and they say, your meth is ready. And I love that. I love getting a text that says, your meth is ready for pickup. Because the first 4 letters of methylphenidate is meth. And I love that. It's the same thing happened to me. They marked it in my chart when I was a kid and nobody ever told me anything again. Essentially long-acting Ritalin. Oh, is that what it is? Well, Ritalin was never something that I took. Adderall was too much after a couple of years. I had too many panic attacks. And then Concerta is the perfect little medium where I get to succeed as an adult, have no side effects, and I'm sure there are side effects to taking it. I just don't get any of them, which is great. But Concerta has a patented release mechanism. Ritalin is methylphenidate. Oh, is it? Okay. So I guess I am on Ritalin after all. Just new Ritalin, new age Ritalin. Anyway, not recommending drugs to any of you. If you do not have any reason to need any additional chemical assistance for your life, then don't take it. However, as someone who deals with chronic depression and chronic anxiety and ADHD, I do take things for those. Hey there, Oracle. Long time no see. I'm being naughty and joining you while I work from home. Long time no see. Nice to see you. Adderall is also meth. I think that's fun. I need meth to concentrate is basically what that means. Bulkheads. My husband recognized it in me when we were in school together and he pushed me to get it checked out. The doc said, well, here's a month of Adderall. Let's see how you do. Yeah, my doctor said the same thing basically. And then I came back and I was like, my life is different. And she was like, I'm really happy for you. Here's 100 pills. And I was in university and I went and filled the prescription. It's 3 months of pills, 100 of them. And I went to the pharmacy and they were like, we're not giving you 100 pills. And I was like, because I was in university. I went to the university pharmacy and they said, we're not giving you 100 pills. And I was like, oh, okay, why? And they were like, do you know how much these sell for on the street? And I was like, these sell for money on the street? I was like a good little Christian girl. I didn't know anything. And I was like, no. And they were like, 100 pills. And I was like, okay, then just give me 30. Like, I'll come back in a month. I was just going to pick up all 100 because then I only have to pay the dispensing fee one time. If I pick up 30 now, can you waive the dispensing fee for the next 2 because this is all one prescription? They were like, that's not how it works. And I was like, okay. And then I found out at the time I was in university, it was between $10 and $15 for a pill of Adderall. People would pay $15 for one Adderall. And I was getting like 100 of them for $7. And I was like, I obviously never sold them because I had ADHD and have ADHD and I needed them. But when I When I found that out, I was like, first of all, that would be a lucrative business. Second of all, not for me. I literally need these pills to finish the essay. So yeah. Costco set me up with this free program to make my pills a bit cheaper when I was prescribed Concerta. The release mechanism is so important that they refuse to prescribe the generic. It's the shape. Oh. I don't pay for Concerta. Same thing with me. The pharmacy didn't set it up, but in Ontario, if your doctor writes a note that that's the one that you need, that was me in university, because they would give you the generic. So I got the generic for Adderall, and I had like 2 days of like one long straight panic attack. And I went back to the pharmacy and I was like, I can't take this. This is not the same thing as Adderall. And they were like, it's the exact same chemical as Adderall. And I was like, no, I'm telling you right now, I almost died. This is not Adderall. And I called my doctor and she said, bring the rest of the pills back to the pharmacy and I'll write a note that it has to be Adderall. And so I got the price for the generic, which was like fully covered, but I had to get regular Adderall because, you know, vibes. I don't know if I told you, but I actually started my ADHD journey. Welcome to the Neurospicy Club, Oracle. I got diagnosed last March. Makes sense. Beelzebub is on my table. I effing hate that people make me feel like an addict for being prescribed meds that I need. Yeah, I think it's it was weird in university because I didn't have offense. I was genuinely confused. If they did that to me now, I'd be like, I'm in my 30s. Do I look like someone who's going to be selling? Look at me. Can you not see the ADHD on my face? But yeah, in university, I remember just being confused. Her being like, do you know how much they sell for on the street? And also me being like, on the street? Is someone out there with a bag of Adderall on the street? Like, I grew up in a small town. Well, it wasn't small, it's Hamilton. But I mean, I grew up on the mountain, which is like more rural. I went to a Catholic school. I had 4 siblings. I was a good little girl. The idea of like selling anything on the street sounded like it was just not part of the life that I've ever lived. So when she said, do you know what the price for these is on the street? And I was like, you're a pharmacist. What a weird thing to say. Also, no, I don't. And then I told Alex when I came home, because we were already living together at this point, I said like, do you know that Adderall sells for like $15 a pill? And he was like, no. And I was like, me neither, but the pharmacist told me that. And he said, why would she tell you that? And I said, right? Because now I know that. So now if I'm short on cash, I know that. And I didn't know that before. To me, it was like taking a vitamin. It was something like taking Tylenol. You're not going to sell Tylenol to people. It is for your headache. You're taking it for your headache. So the idea of buying Tylenol and then selling it to other people feels confusing for someone who did not grow up in a world where that was part of my life. Anyway, yay, Oracle. Happy for you. Everything sort of falls into place. Totally. Ariproprazole. Oh, I had that. No, I didn't. Ariproprazole? No. No, that's... I do know someone who had that. I have bupropion. That's what it has. Sorry. The Aripro, the pro made the Bupro in my head. Bupropion. Which is apparently an antipsychotic. I mean, I do know someone close to me who had used that and had really, really a bad reaction on it. Like she ended up having to go for a stay somewhere because the reaction of that med, not bupropion, the other one that you just said, aripiprazole. That med, a close friend ended up having to have a stay in an assisted program because the side effects from that medication just screwed her up so much worse than what was going on for her separately. So while I say take whatever your doctor prescribes correctly and take good care of yourself, I also will say if you're noticing any side effects, go get help, because that medication, my psychiatrist told me that medication, when my friend was in the, I don't want to say psych ward, that sounds so dramatic. When my friend was in the psych ward, she told me what her in the psych ward doctor told her, and then I was talking to my psychiatrist, and I said, like, is this dangerous? And then she said, it's one of the first meds that they give you. If you have a psychotic episode, you go into the psych ward and they give you this medication because it quickly stops psychotic symptoms, but it does have a lot of side effects that can come with it. So even though it has a lot of side effects, it quickly stops psychotic symptoms. So they put you on other things long term, but it's kind of like it shuts your psychotic stuff down. But it also comes with a side effect, and this was the one that my friend had, where it makes it feel like your skin has bugs under it. So my friend couldn't sleep. My friend, she was dealing with, like, she was talking to me and, like, calling me late, like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, out in the world, being like, I can't sleep because I can't stop moving, or else I feel the insects crawling under my skin. And I was like, okay, that's scary. And then she was like, I know there's no insects crawling under my skin, but the way it feels is that I want to tear my skin off. So I told my psychiatrist that, and she said, this drug actually has like a high relation to unaliving people who are on this, because they don't know that it's something that's not supposed to be happening, and then they can't handle being on it, and it's like not survivable, like for people who have that side effect. So luckily they got her off of that and onto something else. I don't know what she's on now, but that was so scary. And it was so scary to, like, talk to her and know that she's in there and she's okay, but she's also struggling, but it's nothing that anyone can see. It was really not cool. Is it Seroquel? Quetiapine? Oh, I don't know. Oh, it's okay. I was in there too. No, Seroquel and Quetiapine. I feel like I've heard both of those names before. I already want to wash my bones. I could not do drug bugs. Yeah. I'm lucky and glad to be so in tune with my body. Yeah, well, she wasn't, and it took a long time for her to notice that it was, like, really not right. And then, yeah, now it's okay. She's good now, but that was hard. Watching that happen was hard. So Seroquel is Quetiapine. I'm on that too. Good for you, Melanie. I'm happy for you. I hope that you are stable and in a good place. I don't know what she's on now. But yeah, I know the aripiprazole, whatever that thing is called. That's one of those ones that whenever I see it or hear it, it puts a red flag in my head. Like, I've had other people in my life be like, my doctor prescribed this, and I felt obliged to be like, look at the side effects. Take it because your doctor prescribed it, and obviously that means it's something good for you to try. However, go look at the side effects and keep track of your body, because that's so scary that the first one they prescribe for people has side effects that can make them not want to be here. That seems counterintuitive, but it's a fast working antipsychotic. So it's like, it gets you back to reality so that you can get treatment, you know? Excuse you, Gary. They tried to give me trazodone to treat my depression ADHD. They wanted me to do like 200 grams. I don't know what trazodone is. I'm lucky and glad to be so in tune with my body. I'm glad you are too. I was laughing the whole way there. Oh, sorry. What did I miss? I only say my weight because meth abusers tend to be very underweight. Let's see. I made a big joke about getting my meth after work, and I got taken to the drug abuse counselor as if my 200-pound self was legit doing meth. I only say my weight because meth abusers tend to be very underweight. Well, look at me. As my methylphenidate, it doesn't help anymore. Adderall definitely made me skinnier, though. Not in a good way. It helped with my meds when I was first recovering from a mental breakdown, made the antidepressants work better. Exactly. It's a fast-working drug. It's going to be years till I get medication, probably. That's frustrating. I'm like semi-okay. Lol. Does it help? It does help. Gary, do you want a piece of tortilla? I see... Sorry, one sec. My bird is being a little bit dramatic right now. Here, bro. You can have a piece. There. You can have it. You're fine. He just wanted a piece. I have Tostitos here at my desk, and Beelzebub was having some, so Gary started screaming because he wanted some. He doesn't want to come over here to get it. Let's see. I'm It's a very low dose, so I'm happy they didn't give me the stuff you're talking about. Seroquel is an antipsychotic. Yeah, I feel like it's not the same for everybody, though. It's just that the way I saw it manifest in someone that I really love was scary. So I'm very aware of that when I see that drug. That being said, if your doctor prescribes it, trust your doctor. Don't trust a random person on the internet. I guess I can't be depressed if I'm asleep. Usually my depression manifests as lots of sleep. So I don't know about all that. It's mostly used for sleeping disorders and sedating animals. Maybe it's that they thought that you weren't getting enough sleep, so you couldn't not be depressed. Candy. It helped with some very minor hallucinations I had under extreme stress. Haven't had that happen in a long time, thankfully. I'm happy for you that you haven't had that happen. That sounds so scary. It sounds scary, but also it sounds like so exhausting, like having to differentiate and like you can't explain it to people because people are scared of what they don't understand. Like the idea of like being psychotic seems really scary for people who haven't experienced someone with psychosis, but I have, and I haven't experienced myself. I've experienced someone who has had that, and it's worrying, but it's not threatening. It's not scary like you're in danger. It's scary like you don't know how to help. It's scary like you don't know what the right thing to say is, because you can't just be like, well, that's not real. Like, that's not true, because that doesn't help. They are not well. So that's the part that's scary, is that you don't know the right thing to say and you don't want to say the wrong thing, but it's not scary like you're in danger. It's not scary like they're going to hurt you. So, yeah, that sucks. That could be that. Anyway, with peace and love, take care of your mental health. You're scared for them, not of them. Yeah, but like there's this, like when I tell these stories to my family, for example, not tell now they understand, but when it was happening, they were scared for me. Like, are you sure it's like a good idea to be hanging out alone with her? Like, she's not gonna pull out a knife. She's still her. She's just not well. Do you think maybe like Alex should come with you? No, I don't. Like that kind of thing, where like people who've never experienced it don't have the context to really understand it. And while I've not experienced it personally, I've been close enough to it that I get where people who've never seen it are coming from, because what does like media show as like psychosis? It shows like dangerous people, but in reality, that's just not what it's like a lot. I guess I can't speak for everyone. I'm sure there are some people who do dangerous things, but I feel like it's more like dangerous like socially. They're not dangerous like violence. It's dangerous like they're going to drain their bank account. It's dangerous like they're going to give money out to homeless people, all of their money. It's dangerous like they're going to, you know what I mean? Like it's not real danger. It's financial danger and emotional danger. They're not in physical danger. Anyway, I don't know how we got on this trip, but take care of your mental health. And if you have serious mental health concerns, I'm so sorry for you if you're in Canada, because the psych ward, at least in Ontario, is a prison until you're stable, and then they just let you out. Like, I don't think my friend got help for like 3 months after getting out, because the psych ward was just to like make you pause. Then she got out, and it was like, okay, now you have to find a psychiatrist. Now you have to do this. Now you have to do that. It was like, it felt really unfair. It made me really distrust the system, and it also made me feel really scared if something like that ever happened to me, because they didn't help at all. They didn't help her at all. They literally just kept her confined. That's it. It started with secret egg charting as a child, potentially being an autistic trait. Yeah, that's where it started, and this is where we've arrived. Maybe you're autistic, and also, if you have psychotic symptoms, get help, but also be aware that the help might not be great, and you'll probably have to help yourself. With peace and love. Can enjoying the sun. Oh, I'm enjoying the sun in Discord. I find that disrespectful that you have so much sun right now. Oh, cat enjoying the sun. Look at that baby. Is that baby making muffins right now? Is that baby in the middle of one of these? Because that looks like that baby is in the middle of it. Look at that paw outstretched. What a happy kitty. What a clean floor. Love that for you. Also, join our Discord. There's always a group of folks if you need someone to talk to. Yeah, join our Discord. Don't expect really good mental health advice, but at least you can talk to people. That's always good. She was sleeping. Oh, okay. Life be crazy. Life be super crazy. Anyway, I loved charting eggs in my neighborhood. Never got diagnosed with autism. I did get diagnosed with ADHD, though. I wonder if I would get diagnosed with autism. I feel like I have something happening here. And is it a zit forming? Maybe, but it's sore. I don't appreciate it. I have what will eventually be a nice juicy zit forming. Love that. Peer support. Yeah, disclosure. No one here are medical professionals. Yeah, we literally have an actual emoji for it. It says, not a doctor. Because guess what I am? I'm not a doctor. I'm just someone who can't stop talking. Ever. What's your personality? It's I don't shut up ever. That's who I am on the inside and out. Not a doctor, not a doctor, not a doctor. That's me. That being said, I do give an awful lot of advice that is not advice. Like, I'm saying things in an advicatory tone, but really it's coming only from my lived experience. It's not real advice. We all have PhD in being baddies, though. That we do. We're professional hotties. HD. Professional hotties. What are you making? I'm making a baby blanket for my sister. I'm starting again. It is now... We talked for 2 hours about nonsense. But now I'm going to knit while we talk. I have this cute little shirt on, and I'm wearing a pair of Alex's sweatpants. Oh, wow. Has she got another on the way? She already had the other, which is crazy. She now has 2 babies. It's auntie advice. It's the best. Yeah, it's auntie advice. It's just based in lived experience. It's not like based in any medical science. So yeah, there are 2 now. There's Alistair and Elizabeth. 1, 2, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're going to switch to pearls. I've been crocheting a blanket while watching Stitch Circle. Ooh, a circle. Oh, circle stitch. Like in the round? Gorgeous name choices. Agreed. Elizabeth and Alistair are both beautiful names. Alistair is not going to be there today because he's doing his sleepover at Grandma and Grandpa's, which is fine. I'm not going to get to hang out with him. Emotionally, that's fine. I'll survive it. But I get to hang out with my sister, so that's good. I tend to spend time there on Fridays and have dinner there. Alex and I do. But yeah, Elizabeth is with us now. Oop, I meant we're in a stitch circle. Oh, yes, we are in a stitch circle. I'm working on this knitted blanket that I started before Elizabeth was born. And she's like almost a month old now, and I am this far into it. It's fine. It's gonna never be finished, or it'll be finished in a long time, but that's okay. It's fine. It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be such a beautiful blanket. I know how slowly I knit. If I had crocheted this blanket, first of all, I would not have had enough yarn to crochet a blanket with this yarn, but if I had crocheted it in this size, I could have gotten it done in like 2 sittings. But for knitting, it takes weeks. Just weeks of work. It's so slow. I love that we're in a stitch circle. I bet your blanket is lovely. What color are you doing? Or what colors are you doing? Can you imagine doing a blanket just in black? Can you imagine doing an entire crocheted blanket in black? Like, I'm thinking, like, what's your worst idea of a project? And here's my worst idea of a project. It's a crochet, let's see. It's a double crochet with a 3.5 millimeter hook, black yarn. That's my the worst thing. A double crochet with a 3.5 millimeter hook. Worst thing. I would never want to do that with black yarn. Oh God, Louisa, that just made it an extra level. Eyelash black yarn. Just don't even bother. Just stop. Black eyelash yarn. Oracle, same thing. Eyelash yarn. Any eyelash yarn should burn. It should not exist. Who did that and why? It was a bad idea and I hate them. But black eyelash yarn is genuinely like a crime. That's a crime. That's so mean. Black eyelash yarn is just a criminal. That's a criminal enterprise. I crocheted for 5 minutes with black velvet yarn and I wanted to cry. Yeah, that's because black yarn in general is so frustrating to crochet with. Oh, look, you can see my Luna moth behind me. Look how cute she is. You guys aren't going to see Rohan anymore now. He's going to stay on the garden green grow lights. He usually was on the cat bed behind me. That's so funny. That makes me laugh. Black eyelash yarn is a sin. Black eyelash yarn with a 3.5 millimeter hook. And I think a double crochet would be the worst because you have to do yarn overs. Like a single crochet would probably be the easiest because you don't have to like look at your work often. It's like an easy stitch. What do you think? It breaks my heart because I'm a goth and I struggle to make anything in my color. I mean, you can do a lot of like slate gray, dark gray, and then just wear it with a black under outfit, you know? Go for the grays. Or do black stripes. Do like black and gray stripes, because then you could do 1 row of black or 2 rows of black and then a row of gray, you know, stuff like that. You can make it work. Or you can do stitches that don't require you to put your hook inside a stitch. So like if you do like a trellis stitch where you do like chain 3 and then the next row you put the stitches in the chain 3 space, that works. But stitches where you need to actually put the hook into a stitch in order to work it, no. The iris stitch would work really well for you. The trellis stitch, the net, I think it's called, stitch. Any of those ones you can do because you don't have to put your hook into a stitch. You just put it into the chain spaces from the previous row. But peace and love, the idea of doing an entire thing in black, I wouldn't be doing that. Ooh, the iris stitch, I'm looking it up. Don't worry, I got you. A tutorial is on my channel for the iris stitch. It's just called that. It doesn't look like an iris. It just looks like kind of like a... What's another stitch that's got a similar look? It's like 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets all in one space. And then in the next row, you put the 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space. Anyway, there's a tutorial on my channel for it because I am a crochet tutorial maker. As I sit here knitting and talking about mental health stuff, you're a hero. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. God. Sorry if that got heavy with the mental health talk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And don't worry, I do have permission to talk about my friend's mental health stuff. I'm obviously not telling you details, but still, I have permission to talk about it. 1, 2, 3, 4. God, if it had been me though, I would be non-stop talking about it. Like, I understand people are private with like their lives, but if I had experience, like first-hand experience in the mental health system of Ontario, I would be like lighting the streets on fire. Like this would, but as you guys know, I'm not super good with a secret. And if it's my secret, I'm really not good with it. So that's how you know I'm actually talking about another person instead of just pretending like it's about another person and actually it's about me, because if it was about me, you know I would never stop talking about it. It would become part of my identity. I don't know why I didn't realize that that was something that you've experienced too, Melanie. I feel like you've told me that because I feel like you've made a grippy socks joke and I clocked it, but I don't know if Don't know if I ever talked to you. Yeah, I did. You talked to me about it because I was telling you guys literally about something related to this. Yeah, we've talked about it, right? I'm not crazy. Rohan, you better not knock stuff over up there. He's like moving around up on his shelf. I feel like this is not at a good location. I need this to be better. I am sweating right now. I have been just talking up a storm this morning. I'm also sitting beside like heated lamps for my plants, so that's probably why. Hey, by the way, nice to see you all here this morning. Welcome. If you're here to see the baby plants, I did an entire show and tell at the beginning of the video of all of my seedlings that have come up. So if that's what you're here for, you can scroll back to watch that part. But from this point, we're going to be chatting and knitting because that's where we're at. Oh, also, I saw a flower in my garden yesterday. I didn't take a picture. I'll take a picture today. It was snowing yesterday, so like not ideal. But I saw some kind of perennial, not a crocus, but similar like a crocus. Hey, by the way, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. All 12 of you better have clicked that thumbs up button. I see 8 likes. I would like to see 12. If you're here watching, please click the thumbs up. Thank you. Excuse me. Man, I wish I could knit as fast as a knitting machine. Wouldn't that be nice? There's this content creator that I see occasionally on Instagram, and she has this like, it's kind of like a, what's it called? Foolscap? Is that the right word? Foolscap sheet? The one where you fill in the bubbles. It's like a fill in the bubbles, you know, like a multiple choice sheet from school, except for she does a hole punch in this sheet, and the hole punch, she does it in a pattern, and that pattern is somehow mimicked by her knitting machine. I don't fully understand, but she creates a pattern on the computer, prints it out, and then hole punches out the pattern, and then puts it in her knitting machine, and her knitting machine makes these beautiful motifs of like cicadas and butterflies and mushrooms and bugs, and it's like she has these sweater patterns that are so complicated, but she does them like line by line on a knitting machine, and it's so magic. I don't know how the knitting machine understands what to do next, but it does, and it makes me want that. It's very cool. I explained it so well just now. So I know you totally understand what I'm saying. Ugh. I want to know what the flower is that's blooming. It's like a purpley blue. Pretty sure it's a star shape something. I feel like I said last year it was called something like the Star of Jerusalem, but I don't think that's right. But I feel like it had the word Jerusalem in it and the word star. But I don't know if that's just a different flower and I picked the wrong thing. I know that I got the tubers out of a public park. There was a park, and coming out of the grass in this one area under a tree, there was just tons of these little flowers. And I tried to pick one, and then the stem was super long underground, and then I was like, well, now I have to discover what it is. Let me see if I can find it. Tostitos. All right, let's see. What are you? Blue, purple, star-shaped, bulb, flower, Ontario. Yeah, this baby. Spring cilia. Invasive spring cilia. Star of Holland. Not Star of Jerusalem at all, Laura. Star of Holland. It looks like this. Isn't she cute? She pop up out the ground like this. And she very cute. She very small. She little. She cute. She's so pretty. Have you seen fairy potatoes? No, I haven't. Fairy potatoes. Aww. So cute. You picked them off a vine? That's weird. Potatoes grow underground. Are they poison? Because usually potatoes, when they get access to light, they poison. It's me! Wait, fairy potatoes are oxalis? I thought fairy potatoes don't look like oxalis. Here. Huh, fairy potato. It showed, look at the frog it showed when I searched fairy potato. I'm like, yep, that's a fairy potato. A potato fairy. This is what it shows as fairy potatoes. But it shows them as like a thing that grows on a vine. They're cute. I saw his video too. Feral forager. She's so pretty. Fairy spuds. I know oxalis can be eaten, but I don't think it's oxalis that are fairy potatoes. Never go hungry. Let's see. Wild fairy potato. I do not know her. I've never met her. This is a fairy potato right here. I love that fairy frogs are like not cute. They're cute, but they're not cute. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Yes, feral forager. Morning, Michelle. Did a vid on it. I can't remember the other name for it. Feral. Okay. Fairy potato. Other name. What else could it be called? Spring beauty, fairy spud, pixie spud, or cinnamon vine. Small edible tubers that grow as part of a wildflower plant. Okay. Where? Where do you grow? Where are you located, bulkheads? Wild food. Okay, let's see. Wild food, Mary. See what you've got. Show me your WordPress site. I'm in Baton Rouge. I know where you are, Candy. Oh, wait, you're the one who's talking about the potatoes. Sorry. No, it was Bulkheads. Where's Bulkheads? Virginia. Mountain Mama. This morning, I said earlier, I had the glucose tolerance test, disgusting, and it was kind of late. I started at 10 a.m. and ended at 12. I was so hungry with a headache. We both are. Who? I thought you said, what do you mean you both are in Baton Rouge? In Virginia. Is Baton Rouge? I thought Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Isn't Baton Rouge in Louisiana? Baton Rouge? I don't know anything about the USA. I'm from Canada. Okay, I'm not seeing a lot. We were both talking about fairy potatoes. Okay, see, don't worry about me, you guys. We're both talking about fairy potatoes. Video by Feral Forager. I love the word feral. Feral Forager. Who are you? Feral foraging. Return to the wild. Aw, he cute. Look at him hugging a tree. The Forager's calendar. Access now. Do you want to find more wild food? Access now. Oh, $10 a month for that. Nice. All right, we need to figure out what to do with the yarrow this year. What? I just saw yarrow on his website. What can I do with yarrow? I have so much yarrow that's about to grow. It's okay. We got there in the end. We need to work together. That's all. Uses for yarrow. Wound healing, inflammation, supporting digestion. It can help with pain, anxiety. I have drugs for that. Ooh, I have yarrow too. I have Okay, but bulkheads, do you have this much yarrow? Hold on a sec. Let me show you. I'm feeling sassy today. This hair, this makeup, she's got me feeling myself, let me tell you. Okay, do you have this much yarrow? Because this is one of my containers of yarrow. Beautiful. This is my other container of yarrow. She's gorgeous. This one is a Rubbermaid tote, so 2 feet by 3 feet big. And this one is a 2 foot across pot. And I foraged yarrow last year, so I have wild white yarrow and I have wild yellow yarrow. And then I grew from seed summer fruits, pastel pinks, and I borrowed some red yarrow from another location that didn't seem to need it. So I have 5 or 6 different colors of yarrow in the works here, and I'm very hopeful that they are going to be beautiful. Also, the brown gooey stain on the tile that you see in this photo, it keeps getting my attention right now. It is neem oil that spilled in the winter and just became uncovered. Wow, I don't have that much. I have half of a container. Well, I don't know what's going to happen with all of mine, but I do have an awful lot, and there are probably close to, if not more than, 100 plants. I can't really tell because all of these little growth points could be on more like 5 plants, but I think there are many. Like you can see, this is like a bunch. So I think like that is like one large plant. So maybe there's only like 10 or 20 plants, but like it feels like there's like 100. Batty, PhD, MS Laura. Oh, Miss Laura. I'm like, I don't have MS. What are we doing with our yarrow this year? What are we doing with our yarrow this year? I plucked some chocolate mint and strawberry runners from plants in Walmart. Wish the babies luck. That's called prop lifting. It's like shoplifting, but with propagations. You really shouldn't do that. I would never do something like that. That's a crime. I would never do something. I would never borrow cuttings from public parks. If I take them from people's private property, I ask. If it's public property, then it belongs to me also. That's how I feel. And I paid for my tomatoes and zinnia seeds. So like basically you rescued them, really. Okay, let's see. Today, yarrow is sometimes suggested for loss of appetite. I definitely don't have that as a problem. Indigestion and heartburn. Occasional heartburn. As a diuretic to increase urine flow. Not a problem I have. Amenorrhea. Irregular menstrual cycle. Don't have that. Menstrual cramps. I have that today. Muscle spasms. Don't have that. Inflammation. I do have that. But how do we use it? Okay, I see what it's used for. How do we use it? We use it in, let's see how. What can I do with yarrow? How. Let's see. Yarrow tea. Steep yarrow leaves and flowers in boiling water for 5 to 10 minutes to create a tea that can help with digestion, act as a mild sedative, and potentially support respiratory health. So we're going to need to double check that it does not have any medical interactions with ADHD, antidepressant, or anti-anxiety meds. Yarrow root. The root can be used in teas and tinctures to aid digestion, promote sweating, reduce fevers. It is also believed to have an astringent anti-inflammatory property, making it useful for treating wounds and cuts. Ground yarrow can be added to smoothies, juices, and foods. Interesting. I have amenorrhea. I haven't had my period since I was 15. Bulkheads, I double check that you don't have PCOS, because I stopped getting my period in high school, and even though every single time I went to the OBGYN they ran a pregnancy test on me, I was a virgin who had never had any body parts in and around my body parts, and then it turned out I had PCOS. So now I have regular periods, still have PCOS though. But F Walmart. Also, I didn't take anything with a price tag. Pinching tops from mint and pinching runners makes me feel a little less bad. Yeah, I think you're good. I think you're fine. I was just joking. Good morning, Monica. Nice to see you. Anyway, PCOS girlies. A skin soother. Yarrow can be added to salves, ointments, and other skin creams to soothe irritation and promote healing. Interesting. Excess yarrow tea can be used as a hair rinse to promote hair growth. That feels like they just added that one at the end. I have like 4 elderberry trees growing on my fence line. I love that for you, Candy. My mom had PCOS and couldn't have kids for 5 years. Then I was born. Yeah, when I was 16, I remember I have to get pap test every year, but when I was 15, it was every 6 months. And I was having an ultrasound when I was 16 because I had ultrasounds every 6 months also to keep an eye on it. Which now looking back, I'm like, were they worried? That's often to have that looked at because now I have a pap test every year and I have an ultrasound every 3 years. But when I was 14, 15, 16, 17, it was like every 6 months. Anyway, I was having an ultrasound and I remember the doctor that I was dealing with was like, yeah, so I was like, so what does it mean? What's PCOS even mean? And she was like, well, it means you have multiple cysts on your ovaries. And I was like, right, what does that mean for me? And she was like, it just means you probably won't be able to have kids. And I was like 16 and I was a good little Catholic girl. Like I went to Catholic school and I was a virgin and I believed I wanted 5 children at the time. And I remember being completely heartbroken and like, what do you mean it means I probably can't have kids? What is that? I probably won't be able to have children. And I remember internalizing that like hard for many years, being like, I probably can't have kids. Doesn't mean you can't get pregnant. Fun fact. That being said, I don't know that that's true. I haven't intentionally tried to have kids, so I can't be sure that that's something that wouldn't happen for me if I tried to. But I remember that at 16 and being like, feeling like it was ending part of my life. Joke's on them. Now I don't want kids. Yarrow essential oil can be used in aromatherapy to promote relaxation and respiratory issues. Ooh, Mount Sinai Hospital. Let's see what the hospital says. Well, you know when a hospital starts a paragraph with legend has it, it's going to be good. Few scientific studies have looked at yarrow as an herbal medicine. Traditionally, it was used in 3 ways. Applied to the skin for wounds and minor bleeding, taken by mouth to reduce inflammation, especially in the digestive tract, and taken as a sedative to relieve anxiety or insomnia. The flowers, leaves, stems are used. Yarrows collected while in bloom. And let's see. My husband and I were long distance and they insisted on making me pee in a cup too. Yeah, I was a virgin and 16. Also, every 6 months when I would get this ultrasound and pap test, I would do a blood pee test for pregnancy every year. I did this. And every time I was still a virgin. Every time. Are you sexually active? No. Every time. Is there a possibility you could be pregnant? Literally, no. We're just gonna do a pregnancy test anyway. You're already here. We might as well. Cool. Great. Also, I'm on birth control. I was on birth control, not for sex, for the PCOS, so that I would have regular periods. So they put me on a birth control so that I would have regular periods, but they were still testing me for pregnancy every time, and every time I was still a virgin. It was a little bit frustrating, to say the least. Long distance for 4 years. Yeah. Let's see. Precautions. The use of herbs is a time-honored approach to strengthening the body and treating disease. However, herbs can trigger side effects and interact with other herbs, supplements, or medications. For those reasons, you should take herbs with care under the supervision of a healthcare provider. If you're allergic to plants in the aster family, chrysanthemums, daisies, ragweed, you may be allergic to yarrow, either if taken by mouth or applied to the skin. Yarrow may make your skin more sensitive to sunlight. I'm already there. Pregnant women should not take yarrow. Its ability to relax smooth muscle in the uterus could cause miscarriage. At least one study found that yarrow was associated with reduced fetal weight in rats. Other studies have shown increase in the percentage of abnormal sperm among male rats treated with yarrow extract. No studies have been done to know whether it is safe for breastfeeding women. Cool. Let's see. It may interact with blood thinning medications. High doses of yarrow may slow down blood clotting. If taken with medications that thin the blood, such as aspirin or other ones, it may cause a risk of bleeding. Yarrow can interact with lithium. It can increase the amount of lithium in the body, leading to dangerous levels. Okay, no bipolars using lithium this summer. If you have bipolar and you're on lithium, no yarrow. We don't need you to have an overdose. Your kidneys are important to us. Medication to reduce stomach acid. Okay, all right. Medications for high blood pressure. Uh-oh. Yarrow may lower blood pressure slightly and could strengthen the effects of prescription drugs taken to lower blood pressure. Let me switch off of the blood pressure med then. Drugs that cause sleepiness. I don't have any of those. Ugh. Benzodiazepam. Remember those days when I had panic attacks? That shit was lit. Don't take drugs. Drugs are bad for you. Oh, ending a panic attack in 30 minutes though? Beautiful. Okay. And then a bunch of sources. What are the sources like though? Evidence-based complement alternative medicine. Evaluation of wound healing potential. Okay, let's see. Preliminary screening study of reproductive outcomes after exposures in pregnant rats. Safety and anti-ulcer efficacy. Genetic diversity of Iranian yarrow species. Okay. Final report on the safety assessment of yarrow. I love sources. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do research. I'm going to do some research. Not right now. I'm going to do research on some plants. That's what I'm going to do. I needed a new hobby. I haven't gone on like the library and then logged into all of the university searching things since I was doing mushroom and lichen natural dye. That was the last time I went on a big study. Let's see. I'm 33 now, Candy says. When I was 19 or 20, I asked my roomie to get me IVF for my 27th birthday if I hadn't had a baby yet. I still want to be a parent, to carry life in me, but my brain is too volatile. Getting overstimulated makes me lash out in anger, and I would never forgive myself if something happened. But I have Chester, my weighted baby doll. He helps. I feel like I really relate to that, Candy. I don't have the anger issue. I have the unwillingness to change the way that my life currently is. But carrying a baby inside me sounds like the magic that's the only regret I think that I'll have by not having a baby, is that I won't get to have a baby. And now I'm too old to be a surrogate in Ontario. They stop you at like 31 or 32, and I'm turning 33 in a couple of weeks. So I'm past the age of being able to surrogate for a random. I could still surrogate for like if one of my siblings wanted to have a kid, or if a friend I know wanted to have a kid and couldn't. But, well, first of all, we don't even know if I can have a baby. I've been pregnant once and it terminated on its own. So it wasn't viable. I had an IUD. I shouldn't have been able to get pregnant anyway. And when I told my doctor, do you remember what she said to me? She said, oh, IUD doesn't prevent pregnancy. It prevents sustained implantation. Oh, great. So why are you not told you should always still use two forms of protection then? It's made out to be like it's the be all and end all. You're not going to get pregnant on this. No, it's just you won't be able to carry a baby to term with an IUD, which also isn't even true. Rude. Anyway, here nor there. I'm auntie number one. I'm going to be the best auntie that there ever was. However, that is the only thing I can see myself maybe not regretting, but looking back and like, wouldn't that have been nice, is carrying a baby. Bulkheads. I've always been really afraid of pregnancy. I think people who choose to be pregnant are so brave. I feel like people who choose to be parents are so brave, but the idea of becoming pregnant and carrying a baby and giving birth to a baby, all of that feels magical to me. And also the physical pains in my body don't really, they don't do the same thing to me that they seem to do to a lot of people. So I don't think that I would have the same, can't say anything, but I don't think I would have the same feeling about the pain. Like, pain is awful, but it's not the same when it's birth stuff, you know? What do I know? Never did it. I'm not gonna do it. Oh my God. Oh, I thought it said 12:20. I thought it was 12:20. Jesus Murphy. I thought it was an hour. I thought it was over. We're good. We're good. All is fine. I have to pee. So I'm going to go do that. You guys just talk amongst yourselves. I'm sure my birds are going to come here and do crimes. So I'll put something out so that they'll decide to come where you can watch them. Here's some Tostitos. As soon as my bird notices me walk away, she's going to probably come over here and try and eat those. So I just made them obvious to her. I'll be right back, and don't go anywhere. And if you have not clicked the like button, click it. I'll turn the music up for you. Be right back. Okie dokie artichoke, here I am. What did I miss? Now everyone breathe in, hold, and breathe out. Zen. Candy, my first stepmom said I would be knocked up by 12, rude. So I just assumed I would die at 12, because even then I knew that it wasn't how things were meant to happen. 21 years and counting, and F you, the Wicked Witch. That's wild, literally. I sent her an email a few years back and it helped me let go of the rage I had. That's good. I haven't forgiven her at all, but she doesn't pop up in my head nearly as often. I feel free. That's good. I talked to my stepdad too, and even just that helped. That's good too. My friend just had a baby in January, and while she was pregnant, she offered to let me touch her belly. I was so not about it. Happy for her, though. Yeah, I loved touching the bellies of my friends and sisters, because it's like a weird alien. And I love the man, free from the burden of unspoken resentment because I spoke it, and it flew away. Hello? What? Come here. Come on. You want one of these? Yeah, come here. You can have it. Come on. I've only had one stepdad, lol. Dad is on his fourth. Come here. Here. Here, you want a few of them to choose from? Come on. Do you see the orange peels that she threw on the ground? I give them my orange peels because they enjoy them. Come on. Here. It's Tostitos. I know you like them. No, I'm not coming to you. You come to me. Come on. Between my parents, I had 9 step-parents. Jeez Louise. How about something to rip? You want paper? Here. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come on. All right. You don't have to. You're just hanging out like you want to. Ugh. All right. Back to knitting, which we've only done like 2 rows on today. I grew up mostly with my grandparents, and they were fabulous people. Well, I'm glad you had a good upbringing, even though it was a lot of surprise new parents coming into the mix. My brain rot is to not count stitches today. Oh, my brain is not to count stitches today. I read that as brain rot. Oh, an all-day headache? No thanks. That would make me cancel going out. My brain is not to count stitches today. It refused. Your brain refuse. All right. Let me get this camera back in place so you guys can sit with me and watch me knit. What is that? Plastic. Just ignore the mess on my floor. Just pretend my floor is not a mess and pretend that I am not a mess. Okay? Thank you. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hello. You want Tostito? Here. Sorry, my bird decided she actually does want After All to come. All right, you enjoy that. You are looking adorable today. Thank you. You're so nice. I was saying earlier in the stream, I went to sleep with my hair still damp, and I woke up like a mermaid. Like, look at these. Look at these little, look at this. Look at the little lack of frizz today. I used this, in case you're like wondering. I used this. And like, what? She's shiny? Love that. Are you bragging that you can count them? No, but I have to count the first 6. Because they have to be knit, and now everything else in this row is purl. Except for the last 6. Oh, Thunder is covering my work. Excuse me, Thunder. Thank you. Beelzebub. Oh, you're eating that orange peel. Just don't poop on that sweater, okay? I'm wearing that today. Please and thank you. She says, I'll do what I want. And if what I want to do is poop on it, that's fine. I have to go help my friend set up for market. Oh, that's lovely. That's nice of you. Have a good time. Enjoy. Hopefully it's warm enough and not raining too much. Thanks for hanging out. I'm here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. So if you had a good time, come back on Monday. I will be here. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. Rain or shine, unless I'm like very sick and then I don't come. Or unless it was like 2 weeks ago where I went away for 2 weeks. I've been trying to do 150 stitches over and over again. I can't get them right. 150 stitches to not be able to get right. That's so frustrating. That would make me crazy. I would throw out the project. If I tried more than once, it's not happening. I'll be back on Monday. Sounds good. Have a good rest of your day and have a good weekend. I hope that for all of you. I hope you all have a good weekend this weekend. My weekend is going to be busy, but it's going to be good because I'm going to see babies and I'm going to see the farm and I'm going to take home all the rest of my seedlings. I hope my mom took care of them well. I know she did, but like, you know, I also hope they look okay. I also noticed yesterday, I am talking right now, don't want to get crazy with this, I'm right now, yeah, taking a break a bit. Hey, don't touch my yarn. Don't do it. I'm looking at you, get out of here. Go on. I am taking a rest right now, yes. I don't want to get crazy with the project. Agreed, good call. And what did I miss? I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, yesterday I was noticing the dark-eyed juncos in my garden. They were standing, normally they stand on the ground and they eat seeds. They were in my garden. No, we don't do that. They were in my garden, scratching through my garden, and I was like, the only things I've planted outside are my sweet peas and my poppies. So they're probably sitting out there eating my poppy seeds. So I'm hoping that I planted enough thousands that they won't get all of them. Because I was really excited about my poppies this year. Those cute little winter birds. Sucks because they're so cute. Dark-eyed juncos. At least if it was starlings, I wouldn't feel bad scaring them away. Dark-eyed juncos are like tiny little, fat little, rotund, little ping pong ball birds. They're so cute. I think hauling 6 bags of compost and 2 of peat hummus is what hurt me so bad. It's my back and shoulders. Yeah, that'll do it. Hauling around dirt, that'll do it. Oh, also, my mom has all the rest of my seeds, so I can start more seeds when I get my seeds back. I left them at the farm for some reason. I hope she didn't just like put them in with all her seeds because I don't know what I had. She wouldn't. They were in their own container. I have to pick up compost and manure. I'm good for peat. I kind of want to get sand also. I was at my sister's house for 2 weeks and I was playing in her garden and her soil was so beautiful. It like, if you put it in a fist when it was damp, it didn't even clump together. It like fell apart beautifully. Those are cute birds. I googled them. I know, they are cute. That's why it's annoying that they're eating my poppy seeds because like, guys, I can't yell at you. You're cute and small. Anyway, her soil is sandy and it feels like it would be so nice to have sand in my soil. So I might get a bag of sand and just sort of sprinkle it across all of my garden beds to add a bit more sand. I feel like mine is pretty clay heavy and I could balance it with some sand. So excited for the summer. I'm so excited for the garden. Hi, Rohan. Gosh, he's really cute right now. Make sure it's play sand. That's the only sand I know how to get. What other sand could I get? I guess if you got something like lime or like some kind of rock that has minerals in it that could cause issues. Limestone sand. I don't know what else. I don't know what other sands there are. I only know play sand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, switch back to knit. And knit 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Her garden is sandy because they got those, you know, the big bag, big yellow bag, big green bag. I don't know what it's called. I think it's big yellow bag. The big bags of soil where it's like a giant cubic meter. They got one of those. I don't need that much though. There's probably landscaping sand and stuff. Oh, yeah. Well, I would have just gotten the play sand because that's the only sand I would have seen that would have fit what I thought about. I could just go to the beach, get some sand there. Hey there, Marina. Good morning. What are you knitting? I'm knitting a baby blanket for my little sister's baby Elizabeth. Here are the colors. It's kind of like a beachy colorway. Some bluey, sky blues, purpley blues, peaches, and sort of a sandy color. Like this cream in the middle is very creamy, almost white, but I feel like it's beachy. Very nice colors, aren't they? I know, my sister had this ball of yarn in her stash and she gave me her entire stash of yarn. And I was like, what am I going to do with all this yarn? Silly Laura. You'll hoard it until you use it all. But this one just said it was meant to be a baby blanket. And since she gave me all of her yarn, I decided I would return some of it to her with what I think was her original plan for this yarn. I can't imagine what else she would have wanted to make with this. It feels like it was meant to be a baby blanket. The colors are soft, the yarn is soft. You know. I have a question about putting eggshells on the soil to prevent root and rot. Do I need to clean the shells first or just dry and crunch up? So if it's to add calcium, if it's going underneath your plant, okay, you don't have to wash them. But if it's going on top of the soil, like I'm going to do the same thing, but to prevent slugs, I'm going to wash them and peel out the lining of the egg because that part will rot and the shell will not. The shell is mostly calcium, so the shell will stay, but the inside part will attract flies if you have it on top of the surface of the soil. So if you're going to be crushing them up and scattering them on the surface of the soil, well, you're going to be crushing them up anyway. I don't think it's necessary to wash and remove the lining, but I'm going to because we have slugs and I'm not inviting additional issues. I'm going to have the ones that I've washed and dried and ground into like a coarse grit. I'm going to sprinkle those around some of my plants to try and prevent the slugs. I'll let you know if it works, but for calcium, if you're going to like put it at the bottom of your tomato plants, for example, you're good. Root end rot. Blossom end rot, if you're doing it with your tomatoes, you can also just put an egg. I mean, not now, I guess eggs in the States are stupid expensive, but you could just put the shells. You don't have to wash them. If you're putting it underneath a tomato plant, you don't have to wash them. A lot of yarn is a treasure. Agreed. Agreed. My mom does calcium and something else. Maybe bone meal. When she plants her tomatoes, she puts stuff underneath the tomato before she even puts it in. And my mom's tomatoes are legendary, so I would follow that. I agree that a lot of yarn is a real treasure, though, Marina. We love a yarn collection. But she just had a baby, so she was like, I'm not going to be playing with this yarn for like a year because I'm going to be fully obsessed with this baby for like a year. I won't have time for like hobbies that involve sitting and staring at my hands. So take it. I'd rather just buy new yarn when I want it versus storing yarn for a year. Because you know what happens when you have a lot of yarn for a while? It kind of loses its luster. So then when you're like, I'm going to make a sweater out of this, if you hold on to that yarn for 2 years, you're going to be like, I'll go to the yarn store and I'll find a yarn that I want to make a sweater from. So she knows that about herself. Picked up a wire dog cage from some large trash can on the curb. Free trellising. Ooh, I love that. I have a cattle panel, like half of a cattle panel that I'm going to use as a trellis. And then I also have a few tomato cages that I'm using by putting a bunch of them together as my trellis. And what else do I have for a trellis? I also have large bamboo sticks. I don't think they're actually bamboo. It's a local park near me has this grass that grows every year, but it grows these long stalks. It might be bamboo, but it doesn't feel like bamboo. And the previous year's dried stalks are like 8 and 10 feet long, but you can break them with your hands. They're like skinny. And so I go and take those from there. And then the new shoots are already 3 feet tall by then. And I don't even bother with this year's shoots because they're green. But last year's, oh no, I wasn't counting. I started knitting on a purl row. See, this is why I got to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is number 7, which means you're a purl. Anyway, yeah, that's one of them I use. I'll take pictures the next time I go there so you can see the grow place and you can tell me if you know what it is. It might be a bamboo, but it doesn't look like... I have a neighbor who grows bamboo, and it doesn't look exactly like it. It has a similar vibe, but it's not exactly like it. Oh, purling, why do you take forever? Purling is so much slower than knitting. At least it feels like it. Contemplating if I'm going to wash my makeup off before I go to my sister's or if I'm going to wash my makeup off at her house. I think I'll just wash it off at her house. She has nice products. So is anybody else planting a garden this year? And if you are, what is your most exciting plant that you're planting? I'm trying to think, what's the most exciting thing for me? I think I'm really excited to see if baby's breath succeeds. That's something exciting. I'm excited to see if my sapiglossis succeeds. That would be really cool if I could get some sapiglossis flowers. It's like a stained glass flower or something. I think those are the two that I'm really excited for. And then obviously my Apricotta Cosmos. They brought me so much joy last summer. I really can't wait to see them again. They're like a friend. They're like my old friend that I'm really excited. I ordered Bay Laurel starters. Bay Laurel. I knew a girl named Laurel. Bay Laurel. Oh, is it literally bay, like bay leaves? Aromatic evergreen shrub or small tree native to the Mediterranean. It's most famous for its leaves, which are used as a culinary herb. Oh, it is bay. My mom has a bay tree, leaf plant, a bay leaf tree, a bay leaf plant. It's like a tree, but it's a small tree. We are in limbo as we might have to clear our decks. They're redoing the balcony metal parts, you know, as they do. It seems like they are renovicting your building, Candace. It's like they keep doing things that are inconvenient for you guys as the tenants. Are they trying to make people leave? Are people leaving? Is it rent controlled? I bet it is. Because if it's rent controlled, then they're renovating so that they can convince people to leave. I hate end stage capitalism. It's the way to keep getting a rent increase. Nice. We love that. Yeah, we get a rent increase here too, but they don't do any renovations. It's just maintaining this house so it doesn't literally fall apart into the ground. which it honestly continuously tries to. This house is old. We are grandfathered in, so they can only go up so far. It is an older building. Well, I hope your rent is well below market rate, and I hope that it stays that way for a long time. Or forever. Rent is so stupid. I hate it. I hate landlording. A shrubbery. Yes, indeed a shrubbery. A bay shrubbery. That's cool. My mom, I gave her a bay plant a couple years ago, and every year she just takes a few cuttings from it and roots them up. And then she has more bay plants. Because every winter, at least one of them dies. Just from neglect, because they come in and become houseplants over the winter. I don't know if they need to do that, but my mom does that. And so a couple of them die. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Alex.
How doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I missed ya.
Missed ya.
Yeah? Missed ya, but I missed ya. Alex came in the room. Got me thinking. Did I get a reply yet? No, I did not. It's like they don't even care about me. It's a ceremony, but the crowd's gone. And you got nothing but my crown on. Oh, where are you, little history? Let's just Google. Ugh. Randy. How old are you? Me, Randy, 5-year-old terrier mix. We don't want terriers in this house. I mean, Chihuahuas are basically a rat terrier, though. So, like, who are we playing? Not chinchillas. Guinea pigs are so cute. There's a whole bunch of rats that came in. Hummus and tahini. Moose and Irving, Abner, and Poppet. Hello, Poppet. All right. Last check. No reply from the dog people. It's fine. I don't need a reply. I don't need it. It's okay. I'm fine. It's fine. In my head, I'm like, maybe I'll bring this blanket and work on it while I'm at my sister's. Will you, or will you be holding a newborn baby the whole time? Because probably it'll be that. Probably it won't be. There won't be time for knitting. Maybe I'll bring it just as, like, you know, a hope. A silly little hope. Oh, also, did any of you guys grow up Catholic? Because I was talking to my friend yesterday, and she also grew up Catholic. Okay, you're plugged in. I don't know what you want from me. She also grew up Catholic, and we were talking about how catchy some of the songs in the church are, and how annoying it is that we can be out of organized religion for like 20 years, and those songs are still very catchy and still stuck in our heads. And we were doing the one where it's like, rise and shine and give God the glory, glory, rise and shine and give God the glory, glory, rise and shine and give God the glory, glory, children of the Lord. That one. And then there's one other, he's got the whole world in his hands. And then there's the other, we are children, children of the light, we are shining. There's so many songs that are like so catchy and cute, and then you listen to the words and you're like, oh, that's a bit a little bit. That's a lot. That's a lot that we were just singing all the time. Anyway, there's a few of them. We were going through a bunch of them and being like, okay, this one's fine. It's just like, be good, be nice. And then some of them are like a little culty. We are children, children of the light. We are shining in the darkness of the night. Hope for this world. Joy through all the land. Touch the heart of everyone. Take everybody's hand. Cute. When 200 children are singing it, kind of culty. And don't get me wrong, if you find peace in church and church song, I'm happy for you. The vibes are a little weird that I am now a full adult and I can still recite every single like prayer. Like I know them all. And all you have to do is give me the first 2 words of a prayer and I know the whole thing. And I haven't practiced in 20 years. Like that's wild to me. That 20 years can go by and I still have all of them. Like I'm not talking like Hail Mary and Our Father. Everybody knows those. I'm talking like, let me think of one that I can just say. Louisa, me, literally you. You know all of those things? Okay, let me see. Catholic prayers at church. Okay, Hail Mary, Our Apostles' Creed. Okay, so the Apostles' Creed. You ready for this? Okay, I'm not looking at it. I promise. I've minimized it. I believe in God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth. I believe in Jesus Christ, his holy Son, our Lord, who was conceived of the power of the Holy Spirit and born of the Virgin Mary. He suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified, died, and was buried. He descended to the dead. On the 3rd day, he rose again. I believe in the Holy Catholic Church. I believe in God, the Holy Catholic Church, the communion of saints, the forgiveness of sins, the resurrection of the body, and life everlasting. They made us repeat that. It's saying, I believe. They're like, I believes. They're not like, I don't know. It just feels weird that that's like it's like making you say that you believe stuff, but like you don't even know what you're saying. Like I didn't know what I was saying out loud, you know, like I wasn't saying those words. I was repeating those words. Let's see what the act of contrition is. Oh, I don't know that one. Okay. Grace before meals, of course. Bless us, O Lord, for these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. Got that one. What about the Nicene Creed? How's that one go? Oh, it's almost the same as the act of contrition. Oh, glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. Ooh, Requiem prayer. Oh, I don't care for that. Anyway, there's quite a few of them. The Apostles' Creed is one of those ones where I'm like, I know that I rethink about that prayer sometimes. The vibes. Me, during Mass, of course, in Spanish. Yes, of course. But mine was in English. I didn't go to an Orthodox church, so it wasn't in Latin. Mine was in English. The priest faced us. But there were a lot of things, like even like the call and response. I know all the call and response. I could go to Mass now, is my point. I could go to a Catholic Mass and I'd be fine. Like I might struggle at when I'm supposed to kneel, but I would just follow people for that part because I never got that. That was never a thing. When I was a kid, it was like I always was like, oh, everyone's kneeling, time to kneel. I don't know why. It just never made it into my brain when I was supposed to stand up and when I was supposed to kneel. But all of the prayers, it's so bizarre how it can just get hammered so hard into your head that even though I'm no longer in any way a believer of the Judeo-Christian God, I do have some spirituality, but I don't consider it tied to any organized religion. But I have all these prayers and they all make you say that you believe it. Like, I believe in God, the Holy Father Almighty, the creator of heaven and earth. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in the communion of saints, the forgiveness of sins, the resurrection of the body, and life everlasting. Like, you're saying it, and I'm like, I'm 7. I don't know if I believe in the communion of saints. Like, I'm 7. Seems so bizarre now to me that it's just like, that's just what you say when you're there. But you are saying it out loud. You know how now they say, like, repeat your mantras to yourself because you will believe them. So when you're like, I am important, I am enough, like, you're supposed to say it out loud so that you hear yourself saying it. But that means during church we heard ourselves saying, I believe this. So you tell yourself that you believe it. I don't know. Just vibes. This is a vibes-based world. Anyway, I don't know how we got there, but we did. And for those of you who are still actively in organized religion, good. I hope that that fulfills you in the way that the forest fulfills me. People are spiritual in general, I think. There's just like a lot of people have a connection to something. What that is, I do not care. As long as you find the thing that works for you and it makes you feel peace, then I am very happy for you. And as long as whatever it is that makes you feel peace doesn't harm others. So, like, as long as you're not, like, protesting outside of an abortion clinic because of your faith, then I'm fine. If you're doing that, then I'm like, I don't like that. That being said, I did that as a child. As a child, not part of my parents. My parents thought I was absolutely crazy, but I went to a Catholic school where my friends and I all joined the pro-life team because we were all virgin children who had been told all kinds of stuff. Now, as an adult who hasn't had to have an abortion, but I know multiple women who have, it feels so effed up that they had a group of 15-year-olds saying things to people going in and out of a clinic for healthcare. It's like when you start telling yourself, I love myself, but saying, I believe in, yeah, literally, I love myself, I love myself. Actually, I believe in Sky Daddy. I know that's like a disrespectful term, but I think it's very funny. Sky Daddy instead of calling them God. Sky Daddy. All right, here we go. Forgive me, all of you people who are religious, don't come for me. I don't care. Okay, let me just stretch this out so we can see how far we got. How long do you think we got? Last time we finished at what, 9 inches? I don't know how much farther we got today, but let me just stretch it out so I can actually show you how big it's looking. I want to triple how wide this is right now, or how long it is right now. Hey, no problem. We gab about all here. Exactly. We talk about anything and everything. Look how cute this blankie is. You know what I think would be really funny? If there was someone who was like a devout Christian or Catholic who called God Sky Daddy. Because I know it's always used as like a silly insult that atheists use about faith people, where they're like, oh, you have a Sky Daddy, and it's like supposed to be derogatory. But wouldn't it be funny to be like, yeah, my Sky Daddy looks out for me. My Sky Daddy is always on my side. I feel like that would be funny. It would work for me to make me laugh, so. Okay, we made it to 10 inches today. We are so smart, and we are so nice to each other. And also, look at my beautiful baby blanket. If you start turning upward, I am going to freak out. Do you see how it's trying to curl? Don't do that. All right, I love you guys. I hope you had a really good time today. I had a really good time today. I feel like I was like on my shit today. I felt very good about today's live stream. So I hope you had a good time too. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. It helps the channel grow, and you're already here hanging out with us, so you might as well. And if you didn't like the video, that's okay too. You don't have to. Just move along. But I love you guys, and I'll see you guys on Monday. It is Friday right now. If you want, you can check out my most recent video, which is a crocheted trillium flower. That's on my channel. There's also tons of different like tutorials there if you want to look for something. You were on fire, right? I know. I feel like I was like on the whole time. But I'll see you guys on Monday. I hope you have a good weekend. Stay safe, stay hydrated. Let me just take a big drink of water because I just thought about being hydrated. And that's all. I'm going to clean up these oranges and then I'm going to get ready to go and I'm going to go. Have a good weekend. Thank you to everyone who's supporting the channel. Love you. Bye.